one of the northern places, has a melon bear because the town is known for melons.
The horrifying melon bear, right? The one.
Yeah, where his mouth is full of human teeth.
Okay.
And if you watch the Abroad in Japan episode where they go there and talk about melon bear, his good friend Natsuki translates that from Japanese to English as human dental. And Katie and I now say human dental a lot because it made us both like choke laughing. So when it's time to go brush our teeth at night, we're like
time for
human dental.
Time for human dental.
Human dental.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Shiz just makes us laugh so much. Look at these people waiting in here. Good night from Singapore. My God. My God. I am now deeply aware of the not the time difference from here to Singapore, but I am deeply aware of the time difference from here to Japan. Because I keep booking things on the exact day that you can book them so that I don't miss out. And it's plus 13 hours from where I live. They are in the future, Kyle. Oh. Sometimes, depending on the time of day. So like right now, they are not in the future. But,
wait, what? Oh, you mean like as in a full day?
But starting at 11 a.m. our time, Japan is in the next day on the calendar. So yeah.
So yeah. Hello, face reveal. Blah. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, we're face revealing.
Yeah. Faces are on now.
Oh shit. Oh my God. Oh my. Can you believe this is what I look like? Everybody?
I know the big reveal.
See your camera, by the way.
Oh, I didn't press that button.
No, you didn't.
There are far too many buttons for two screens right now.
Yes.
I'm down to two screens due to the setup, but I'll recover eventually.
You have three screens, but one of the screens is just for recording on a secondary computer.
Yeah, dedicated because it's an HDMI slot. Doesn't have a DHL or whatever.
DHL is a car part.
What's the square
company.
HDMI?
Or no, DHL is a global logistics and international shipping.
I thought it had like I think it has a D in it.
DVI. DVI is the precursor to HDMI.
No, What's the display port?
Are you talking about
the square-ish one, but one of the corners is cut off?
Oh God, what is that called?
Yeah.
That's DisplayPort.
It's just called a DisplayPort? That sounds
it's
like...
literally just called DisplayPort.
That sounds wrong. That sounds like you made it up. That sounds like...
It does. It should be like a DSP.
That sounds like when I was in the car with my dad and like I was 10 years old. I was like, what happened in World War II? And he's just like, well, and told his version of events that he knew.
Wait, are we learning new lore about is your dad not a World War II dad? Because if I had asked that question to my dad when I was a kid, he would have gone into extreme detail about the actual history of World War II.
No, well, his dad, my grandpa was in Battle of the Bulge, and it was not a topic of conversation in the house. You did not bring up the war in the Ferguson household growing up. So he didn't actually know that much, but I got a version of events.
Okay, yeah, it is new. So technically your dad's a World War II dad, but not what most people think of as a World War II dad. Your dad is World War II trauma dad.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
All right.
Cool. He loves the Ken Burns though. He loves that the Robert E. Lee goes in and they got stuck in the mud, and while they were down in the mud, they hollered a terrible whooping to the Confederacy, and any documentary where someone drones on like that, hell frickin' yeah, the letters get read by Tom Hanks. It's good shit.
Yeah. My great grandfather was, I guess, young enough that he was alive to emigrate from Germany to America and then enlist and go and kick his own country's ass.
Oh wow!
In World War One.
Damn.
So yeah.
You have to pay a royalty fee to make HDMI things? Oh.
I did not know that.
So is the square...
That makes sense.
Is the square boy better? Or is it just like royalty free knockoff.
My understanding is DisplayPort, at least for computer shiz, has some benefits over HDMI.
Okay.
I prefer HDMI because I've had fewer issues with it. But right now, yeah, my main monitor is being driven by DisplayPort.
Yeah, my graphics card is 3 display ports, 1 HDMI. So I have to use that 1 HDMI to do all the splitting in order to get in all the machines that record stuff like gameplay and stream and all that with all the HDMI products. Yeah,
HDMI is usually a little simpler for that. Of course, now, as I've talked about in the past, I am now painfully aware of the fact that not all HDMI are created equal.
Yes.
That if you want 4K 120, you need a certain quality and speed.
Yeah, I found that out
of HDMI
because I'm using a splitter to split HDMI, and if I plug in one of my cables, the whole thing smart splitters down to 1080p because it goes, whoa, I've got a cable, I've got to adjust, the lowest cookie in the room kind of thing. Like, this is all this cable can handle, and that's what I'm going to put out. So that was a puzzle.
Vernon immediately went to, I love it when you put out, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't say that.
If you did, then it's fine.
So now I'm saying it with the context of it made me laugh before.
You could have just ripped it,
I should have just ripped it.
Out here just raw dogging the HDMIs, trying to figure out what works.
I'm still working on my coffee. I'm not. Yeah. It's hilarious. I know you're like, hey, I'm not sitting on the couch. I can wear my gray shirt, but the couch is still in a frame. So you just look like you got like lurch box shoulders.
Yeah, I got my Praise the Sun shirt on. It's workout day here, and I like to wear this shirt though. I did just order some new workout shirts. That'll be nice.
We could keep this extremely domestic when I could launch into a conversation about how I hate athletic material t-shirts.
Oh, that's fair.
I feel like they breathe worse than just like a cotton t-shirt.
Have you ever worn one of those like Lands End kind of old man button-ups with the vent in the back? Those are pretty nice.
A fishing shirt?
Yeah.
No, I haven't, because I want Katie to ever want to see me naked.
Yeah, but they do work.
Yeah, I would like Katie to want to continue to see me naked.
I mean,
if I wore that, she would never,
maybe
ever want to see me naked again.
Maybe like taking off the glasses. It don't matter if you got a six-pack under there. You can unbutton anything, and everyone will be excited.
You eat with your eyes first. And that's true in everything in life. That's true in all aspects of life, and that is why you should dress to impress. That's why I think Steve Jobs was, and that's one of the many reasons why I think Steve Jobs was an asshole.
Well, you say fishing shirt, I say snackle box.
Listen, I didn't. You want to be? I want to be clear. Yeah. I didn't say that everyone finds it repulsive. I was specific to my situation.
Yeah.
I was specific, and I said that would not be.
I was merely.
Katie would not appreciate that.
No. There's a hard cutoff in this house on cargo pants. I love cargo shorts. I love big old Game Boy available pockets, but Kristen said no, and that's not that big of an ask, but it was hard.
It's not, and I'm with her. They're really bad.
It was hard. They're convenient, they're big, they're thick, they feel good. I like cargo shorts, but I gave them up.
Good man. Did you you don't follow, you're not aware of Twitter menswear guy, are you?
Oh, you've told me about him. He's
like the number one like most followed person on Twitter, and like the number one most retweeted, the number one most replied to. I'm so sorry, man. I'm sorry to inform you. I feel like this is like that meme of George Bush on 9/11. Like,
you bend down. Okay.
Yeah. The Twitter menswear guy just napalmed polos.
Oh, he's on your side for that one.
As of yesterday, polos with skinny fit chinos has been napalmed by the Twitter. It's like that's the go-to outfit for I want to dress like rich people,
I've entered the Barbara Walters dimension. I got to press a button, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you have. Is that? I don't know if you can check quickly. Is that camera set to 4K? Because the A7 IIIs, the autofocus gets real weird when they're set to 4K. So I don't use 4K very much with those for portraiture unless there's nothing competing for focus.
It shouldn't be, but I did just change lenses this morning, so
that wouldn't
about that.
That wouldn't change anything.
All right.
Yeah, it really doesn't want to focus. Huh. Interesting. Nintendo announced literally 10 minutes ago that there will be a Nintendo Direct on Friday. Huh. We don't usually talk about that because the announcement of the announcement.
There we go. Okay.
Usually not worth a whole lot.
Yeah, it depends on what they're hinting that they're announcing, I guess.
A new Nintendo Direct presentation will take place on Friday, September 12th.
Cool.
Will be the first general Direct of the Nintendo Switch 2 era.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
That is it. And the rest of this is assumptions that it'll include Metroid Prime 4, and then possibly third-party updates on stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. If there's an update on Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, I hope that it's not as terrible as the demo that was at Gamescom.
Yeah, let them defend themselves a little bit there, and they have something to say about that one.
That would be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. Hey, Zervon, thank you for the 39 months. That's a very long time. And thank you for hanging out with us at 11 p.m. in Sydney.
Oh, welcome to you. Yeah.
And Zaphoto. Why is it whenever I make these, it's because I have a migraine?
Be well, get better.
Depending on your work environment, we have a lot of people that do watch from work, but not everyone can. Not everyone has a job that is conducive to second screen activities. So we do have a lot of folks, Zaphoto, that sadly can only make it to a live stream when they're, the health is not at 100%.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel bad and good. I'm sorry that anyone's sick, but I feel good that I'm part of your sick ritual because my sick rituals are they're very precious to me. It's usually another rewatch of Alien, or Indiana Jones, comfort movies go on. Why is Alien a comfort movie? Because I'm broken inside.
Well, yeah, well, what's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Watched a interesting little breakdown of Alien last night. That there's no stingers, and in that time period, that was completely unknown, and it absolutely freaked people out.
Stingers?
Yeah, like when something scary would happen.
Oh, I was thinking of a stinger like at the end of a movie, like a post-credit sequence.
Yeah, so the fact that nowhere in the movie, even like the face hugger happening, everything that happens, there's noise. The alien makes a sound maybe, but there's no information for that audience at the time to know the tension is now cut. The scary part has happened. And so you had an escalating tension throughout the entire movie, which no one had experienced to that time.
Oh, so there's usually stingers and Alien doesn't have stingers.
Yeah, it's also an interesting, it was a breakdown of Ridley Scott and how it wasn't a horror movie that he shot, so it was extra unnerving, and he wasn't good at horror movies, or he hadn't done one at the time or something along those lines, which is weird to say today because, Ridley Scott's name is absolutely known for that.
Yeah, it's not really what he does, though. Like, Alien's kind of it. I mean, he went on to do Prometheus and Covenant, but Prometheus is unfortunately a comedy, not scary at all. And Covenant's a little spooky.
Yeah.
But he's mostly known for, like, epics. Like, I think of him as, like, the epic director. Like, I think when you say Ridley Scott, I think Blade Runner, Gladiator. Like, those are the first things. I have to remind myself that, he is responsible for Alien.
Yeah.
Which is probably, Alien is my favorite Ridley Scott movie. But, honestly, my top three is probably in order: Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator for old Ridley Scott. Maybe director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven. That movie is exceptional.
Oh, Kingdom of Heaven's good.
You have to watch the director's cut.
Yeah,
that butchered that movie for the theatrical release.
That was a fact. That is a straight up fact.
Yeah. That's. That's why, I was about to launch into. I'm like, that's why I don't understand Snyder Bros. But you know what? Snyder Bros. Listen, they were right once. That Snyder cut of Justice League is freaking solid. It's not what I would want. It's not what I typically would want from my superhero media. But the Snyder cut of Justice League is actually pretty sick. It's cohesive. It makes sense. It's a solid experience. Also, respect to the freaking 4x3. It really works for that movie. So yeah.
Speaking
Anyway,
of 4x3, yeah. Speaking of 4x3, yeah.
Wait, what?
I don't know if we're gonna talk about Expedition 33 at all.
Are you gonna put bars on the side?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, it is doable, but no.
Yeah, no, we could totally talk about Expedition 33. I'm gonna put that down in the what
just
we
a little bit, just a little bit.
Expedition 33. Expedition 33. Expedition 33. I don't know what's wrong with
I don't.
me.
Yeah, it just that's just your morning vibe.
I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah. Listen, man. Born for Pee-wee's Playhouse energy, forced to video game commentate.
Okay. Yeah. There could be a market for that, I think it may have passed. Toy reviews are kind of, down on YouTube at the moment, but
No, I don't want a toy review.
You don't want to do toy reviews?
No, no, I don't want a toy review. No,
okay.
That's not good for me. That's not good for. I'm a little off center. Is that me or you?
I can fix you. I
think that's you. Yeah. Oh, there's another me behind me.
Yeah, that's a different capture. The purge must happen soon.
The purge must happen.
The monthly OBS purge.
The purge. Well, it's time.
It's time, everybody. Woo! This is for me.
It's the Grinding Gear podcast. We are back. It's still September. It's still the Grinding Gear Patreon-a-thon brought to you by supportourbromance.com, the greatest website in the frickin' world. Go there. We've already hit 2 of our goals. We did a bonus stream last week because we hit our first goal, which means that my brain, what did we do last Friday? I tried Hollow Knight for the first time. And we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about Hollow Knight later. And this Friday, we're going to do a bonus stream where we try and see if Soul Link works with Star Fox 64. Will it Soul Link? Star Fox 64 happens this Friday because we hit 2.5K on our Patreon.
Hell
2.5K or 800 paid members, whichever came first, and it was 2.5K. The next goal is 2.6K or 850 members, whichever comes first. So head on over to supportourbromance.com. Check it out. We're trying to get to 3,000. That is our end stretch goal. If we hit that, we're doing another Grinding Gear meetup. Divorced from FanFest. It'll be another IRL Florida meet. Unless you really want to go somewhere else,
I could be convinced. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
What's in driving distance and how's the youngest behaving with driving?
Yep. Yeah. All that stuff.
One of these years, I would love to do a meetup in the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh yeah, I'd love to go there. That sounds delightful.
Would be fun. I'm like we just call it the GG's IRL touch grass meet, and we just we go hike and go driving together.
And we check out a bunch of cabins, just a big cabin row.
The 2 things that we just combine the 2 things you and I love. All outdoor stuff for you, and tearing ass on mountain roads for me.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
Check it out. Supportourbromance.com, and to our patrons, who I usually cut this stuff out for. But it's not as delineated because it's Patreon-a-thon, It's just kind of integrated into the conversation today. Thanks for the support. Thank you for supporting us. We have so many new patrons to thank today at the end of the show, which means we're gonna Kyle's gonna have to help. He usually doesn't help read names, but there's too many. He's gonna have to help.
The butchering shall commence.
If you find mispronunciations of your names amusing, the end of this podcast is going to deliver. And for those of you already supporting us and those of you upping your pledges, thank you very, very much for the generosity. We appreciate it.
Huge.
Thanks for the continued support. And thank you for listening to the news this week. Let's get into it.
Good. Oh, great news, everyone. Shove it.
YouTube is assuming your age.
Well,
with the power of AI.
Let's just go back to the previous statement for a quick moment. Thank you for everyone supporting on supportourbromance.com, because yes, there is some serious YouTube doery going on in the background here, and it's a fascinating market research project. If you enjoy numbers and statistics, if you enjoy artists who have had to learn how to do numbers and statistics, you should check out what's going on in the YouTube space, because essentially the background story is every single YouTube channel had a rough August. Their views were down from a third to half, and there was this wave. There was this wave in early September of tons of people putting out videos being like, I'm doing wrong. I'm changing my format. I have made mistakes here. It's me, not you. And then momentum builds. Everyone went, well, it's kind of weird that everybody's saying their numbers are down. Everyone's saying their content's not working. And suddenly, friends' YouTube channels started sharing statistics with each other and going like, wait, what's going on? It felt like a conspiracy for about 2 days until it seemingly wasn't.
Enough people talked to each other and agreed, oh my God, this sucks for everybody.
There seems to be something going on.
Yeah.
Now, for you at home, this will manifest in a rather plain way. You may not see new videos from channels you subscribe to. You go to that homepage at night, you see nothing that you normally would click on, that you would normally subscribe to. Another thing that might happen is you were once a member of a channel, or maybe you follow a channel that has membership videos. And now those membership videos are all over your feeds, and you can't watch them because you may not currently be a member. And it's filling up your feed with just noise from people you like, but noise you can't watch. And it's taking the slot of a video you would like to watch.
Like all of this is alleged. There's still not been like an official update from YouTube. They gave us the text version of a pizza party instead of fixing problems. That's every company's favorite thing to do. You ask for a raise and they're like, how about a pizza party? And you're like, not even close to what I was asking for. But hey, our hard work is appreciated.
Our
Kyle.
hard work is appreciated.
It doesn't go unnoticed. That was the tweet from the YouTube creators official account yesterday. That got did you see the update on that, Kyle? It was slapped with a community note.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, let me get that up on screen here for everybody.
It was slapped with a community note that says your hard work does in fact go unnoticed.
Well, it's also for my own research and my own investigation, it's been a great resource to find people making videos about this.
The red lines are back.
Because
okay, cool.
People who are replying to this are the ones being affected by it. Like Commander Carl, Joe Katz responding to this, and
no, I didn't see Joe Katz's response. What our buddy Joe say?
It has. So your hard work doesn't go unnoticed is the statement. Joe Cat replies, it has been since you stopped showing subscribers videos from the channels they're subscribed to and continue to go unnoticed when you keep adding ridiculous features like restricted mode and AI deciding who's a child.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what's going on. We talked about this on stream once already, but for the sake of the podcast, we know there's a lot of folks that only keep up with us through that. And so this probably if you are one of those, by the way, if you only keep up with us through the podcast, particularly through an actual podcatcher, like, I don't know, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, or Spotify, this doesn't affect you at all. But it does affect us. So, yeah, what's going on is pretty much like every YouTuber on Earth agrees that August was terrible, so much so that a lot of the bigger YouTubers, this doesn't happen to us because we're not big enough to attract baked-in sponsorships. But those that do lost a ton of money because when you get those sponsorships, like I'm not talking about like an ad that plays on YouTube, but like the part that you probably skip when watching a YouTube video. Let's be honest. And they're like, but first, let me tell you about today's sponsor. That part, that's an agreement between the creator or their channel, if they're bigger and they actually have, employees and all that, and an ad agency, or sometimes directly the sponsor themselves. Typically, it's through an ad agency that's working as a third party to make those connections. And you agree upon a price based on a view guarantee. which normally you go into your analytics and you find, what do we always hit? What can we actually guarantee? And you make an agreement based on that. But if you don't hit that, that's a problem. And you're probably not going to get paid for it. And that's what happened to a ton of YouTubers this month. Honestly, usually those baked in ads pay way better than the ad revenue from YouTube itself on that video. So that's how a lot of YouTubers actually make a living. So because YouTube doesn't tell us anything about how the algorithm works, everyone just starts going around trying to figure out what the hell happened. And to YouTube's credit, they do send us a lot of updates in the form of a YouTube creator newsletter. We actually get these pretty damn often. And in the case of you and me, Kyle, we have like a rep at YouTube that we meet with every once in a while. We can ask some questions and they'll send us these newsletters. And if we have questions about the things that are announced in the newsletters, which are typically new features for YouTube, we can talk to our rep about that. They don't always have all the answers, and they typically aren't going to reveal anything like in stone about how the algorithm works. But a thing that was mentioned in a YouTube announcement was that they were launching AI age verification, which is really more the way it functions in reality. It's more like an AI age assumption. They have a new AI tool on YouTube that basically looks at your viewing habits and tries to assume your age, so that if it thinks you are underage, it won't serve you content that it thinks you shouldn't be seeing, which is apparently completely divorced and completely different from age restriction, which is a thing that's been happening on YouTube forever. Kyle, you and I, what happens? We upload a video, or even in the case of us, because we stream a lot more, we finish a stream, and that stream then lives essentially as a video on YouTube. When the stream finishes, they run a bunch of checks. When we upload a new video, YouTube runs a bunch of checks. If in that video we were to talk about like extreme adult content, we like really got into the nitty-gritty about something regarding sex, or maybe we played an extremely violent video game, like a modern Mortal Kombat where they do those X-rays where you see like internal organs and bones being crushed.
Oh, I freaking love those. Those are great.
I do too. Or maybe you cover movies and you include clips from a particularly violent horror film. The checks will run as you upload that video, and it might pop back like, boop, age restricted. And a lot of things happen with that. One, it won't show up for anyone that's not logged in, which is very bad for you. A lot of people watch YouTube without logging in. It won't show up for anyone that's on a YouTube Kids account, which is not the end of the world, but also not good for the potential reach of that video. And it won't be viable for monetization, which is obviously terrible if you make your living content creating. That's normal. That's been around forever. We've never run afoul of it. We obviously, I don't know, maybe a couple times we've thought of maybe playing something violent. We're like, maybe we shouldn't, because that would probably be immediately age restricted. But like, I really can't. I'm struggling to think of an actual example of when you and I decided not to do something because we thought it would get age restricted. We had
it happen one time. And it was in Dawn Trail when we made a few too many jokes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I was able to fix it by I think I silenced part of it and I retooled the name of the episode.
Oh my God, what do we do? Can you describe it without getting this podcast age restricted?
Do you remember the conversation with Wook Lamont where you were wearing sunglasses?
I mean, yes, but I don't remember what I would have said.
We essentially made a lot of teen comedy jokes. We went a little.
We made too many
comedy central.
Too many wiener jokes?
No, too many. What was that? How High? That's a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
we had too many 420 jokes.
Yes, we had a series of jokes that were a little too risque for the YouTube.
I forgot about that one. That's a really common reason for videos to get age restricted is anything to do with that. Anything to do with blazing it.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, that's another one. That's another one. So, but there we go. There's like the one example we can think of. So again, in YouTube's defense,
it does happen sometimes.
It's pretty easy to stay away from getting age restricted. But that's not what this new AI tool has to do with any of this. It's completely divorced from age restriction. And at least what we've heard from some folks, like in our Discord, folks that follow me on social media, because I've been tweeting about this issue, some folks have gotten in touch and been like, hey, I was put into restricted mode, and suddenly everyone's talking about restricted mode. This is something I didn't even know existed, even though if you click on your profile icon on YouTube, it is right there. It is not hard to find. Again, in YouTube's defense, not hard to find. But this has been YouTube's messaging this whole week, which is that restricted mode is completely opt-in and you can turn it off. But we've been hearing from some folks that have been saying that it has been automatically turned on when they have visited YouTube and they've been logged into their account on an internet connection that isn't like their own connection. And so we've heard from a couple folks that essentially restricted mode got triggered because they accessed YouTube while at their place of work. And we've heard from at least one person that place of work has been a school. So they've been on a school connection. And then another, like a good buddy of ours, Chris, got in touch and was like, hey, I access it at work. I don't work at a school. And I got thrown into restricted mode. And then it once that's thrown, you're in that mode until you turn it off. So you go home, you're back on your private internet. It's still on because it got tripped. And so it seems like something to do with this AI age assumption and restricted mode is doing all of this. And so, like, if you go to our channel right now, you can run this test for yourself, everybody. If you're logged into your YouTube right now, you can go look at our videos or look at our live streams. Go to either page on the Grinding Gear YouTube channel, click on your icon on the top right, throw yourself into restricted mode, and watch as tons of our videos and our live streams just disappear.
The funny thing is that you died in the hurricane, according to this timeline.
Yeah. So if you're watching on video right now, Kyle has a side-by-side that I this is this morning because I wanted to see if it would promote our podcast stream before we were even live. And it's hiding it. There's not even any content here
but there could be.
For any tool to even make an assumption on the age viability of that content. And with restricted mode on, it is hiding our upcoming stream, which if on the right side, restricted mode is off, you can see all of our streams and the upcoming streams. So I took this screenshot before we went live this morning. So it's not only restricting content that the tools can look at and make a judgment call on, but it's restricting content that doesn't even exist yet. So yeah, fun. But yeah, the streams are particularly egregious because it hides the last 10 months of our streaming content. For some reason, the stream I did when the hurricane was bearing down on us is the last stream that YouTube thinks is acceptable for anyone using restricted mode. And then after that, it also carves out a ton of random streams for who knows what reason.
Yeah, it seems like maybe it was tripped at that time. Like that's when this feature kind of became more aggressive because otherwise we can't find any real connection points. Like the
a lot of people are drawing that connection to August 1st because that's when YouTube at least let us know that they've got this new AI age verification feature running, which a lot of people, by the way, are tying to these new very, very strict EU laws.
Yes.
Which are just awful, but neither here nor there. They're probably onto something. There's just a lot of really sus things happening with age verification and internet access across the globe right now, and this is probably part of that. But no, a lot of people are just kind of going back to August 1st because, like, if you even look at our videos, almost every video from August is hidden. So I don't. There's really no way to know because none of us were checking on this before August. So I look at this and my read on the situation is they have retroactively gone back and applied restricted to a bunch of old streams that probably weren't previously restricted.
Right, but you would think that maybe the Going North Endwalker stream where we went to Garlemald might be restricted because of content, and that one isn't. So it's hard to find what the classifiers are that causes this trip.
Yeah, no one really knows, and that's why I keep coming back to this is all assumption.
Which, to be fair, like that's why Overwatch says there is a bug with Genji. We are working on it. Because if you knew what the bug was, everyone would be exploiting Genji. So all updates in the YouTube sphere are often very like, we're working on something, because if you know the special sauce to get 1 million views, everyone would do it.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%.
So it's
the UK laws, not EU laws. My apologies. UK laws. Good job, UK.
Most of this is just to inform you what's going on and why you might not be finding the content you want out there. This is absolutely an ongoing issue just inside of the creator sphere, and it's something we're very interested in naturally because you're on the platform. But hopefully this helps someone out there actually get the content that you're looking for, and for the next time period anyway, go directly to your subscriptions tab. Maybe avoid the home for a time and find what you're looking for.
Yeah. I mean, if you're seeing our streams, if you're seeing our new videos, then this is obviously not affecting you. But yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with YouTube. Looking forward to our next YouTube meeting, Kyle.
Well, and this is also now today, as of today, breaking news. This is being tied to the bot deletion because people are noticing as well in their statistics that the like ratio on a video is up, and their average viewer revenue has remained consistent. And in fact, they're seeing more subscribers because it's real people watching. And a lot of those raw views might have been bots. And Twitch just did this as well, and is causing a huge fallout over there because that audience is also tied to doing sponsorships and direct plays, sponsored streams for their audience by saying, hi, I have 20,000 views every day. And now all of a sudden, after this big bot purge Twitch did, they've got 10,000, and now they can't sell those ads. So it may even come to be like, HelloFresh has to sit there and be like, okay, we were under the assumption that everyone was getting 1 million views. Actually, it was 500,000 the whole time. That's fine. We'll lower our required number, and we all just adjust, and it's going to be okay.
Potentially, yeah, but yeah, it takes time to adjust to all of this. But yeah, that's cool, and we've seen a bit of an increase in new subscribers, so that's rad. But the views are like in the toilet for most of our new videos. With us, I didn't think too much of it because the first video to like absolutely die in a fire was a World of Warcraft video, and they typically don't do well, but every once in a while we're just too damn passionate, we're going to do it anyway. So like when a WoW video doesn't perform, that's not news to me. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And some things still make it through, and we're not really sure why. And like our recent Tantra video, it did all right. It did about average. I would say it underperformed a bit for an MSQ video. But you go and check, it's still hidden when restricted is on. So like I can't make heads or tails of any of this shit, man. I really don't understand what's going on with it.
That one, yeah. There's all sorts of outliers, like my Metroid video being hidden because I don't think there was
nothing objectionable in that video.
No, I mean,
unless YouTube is just like, ew, Metroid. That's
or like, he seems scared to play Castlevania. That's too weird for kids. Like, let's not let them see that. We need to make sure Castlevania sales stay up. Otherwise, Monster Hunter won't get made, or something weird like.
Yeah. Anyway, if this keeps going, look forward to our first drinking game stream, which is guess how many videos will be hidden on the top 8 when you turn on restricted mode. I actually pitched this to Kyle the other day, and he was like, maybe after the Patreon.
maybe.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's a developing story. We'll keep you up to date. But that is what is on the mind of anyone that actually makes content on YouTube right now.
Yeah, and if you find someone out there that's posting one of these. I'm changing everything. It's been a hard month. Let them know too what's going on, because I saw a lot of that yesterday, and they're artists.
Probably aware.
They're artists.
Probably aware.
It's easy to take it personally.
One car content creator that I watch had a big one of those. I'm changing content. About a month ago, and it's funny you mentioned that, but I didn't see anyone else really do a video like that. Funny enough, for that one content creator in particular, I'm talking about Hoovy's Garage, if anyone's familiar with Hoovy, seems to be working out for him. His views are up.
Nice.
So, it's not all bad for everybody, but it's pretty bad for most people, most bodies. But hey, let's go on from uncertainty about YouTube views to uncertainty about indie game prices.
All right. Yep, Silksong is out. It is it's reviewing all right. Everything is saying it's too hard, and then of course the people who don't think it's too hard are having a good giggle. There is a balance update coming for the difficulty of the game, affecting several early bosses.
It's reviewing beautifully. Its Metacritic score is a 92.
Yeah, but there's people trying to take it down for the difficulty. Like, that's the only thing holding it back. And that's not news. That's not news. They had a huge release.
I'm making the argument that I don't see a 92 and think it's being held back.
And this has caused quite a few other developers to say, "What's with that price, Team Cherry? You shouldn't be selling a game for $20."
Welcome back, Baldur's Gate 3. Because if you remember, Kyle, Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and a ton of other developers were like, "Don't expect this level of content in any other game. It's unrealistic." And so here we are in the year of our Lord 2025, and Silksong comes out, and developers are going, "Don't expect our games to cost this much. It's unrealistic."
Yeah, these are indie devs rather than big studios making the noise, which it does make it an interesting conversation in a way. It's such an insane story with the development team size of Team Cherry, the passion they were able to put into it, the Kickstarter, the messages that, another Metroidvania, good luck, 2017 in the trash can, just for it to kind of define the genre of what people wanted from a Metroidvania in the first place.
Yeah.
But a lot of indie developers have bigger teams than that. And they don't have Hollow Knight or a Kickstarter funding them in the background. There's also things like, algorithms and whatnot being clogged on a Kickstarter. It's kind of hard to put one up these days. It's not something people really peruse like they did in 2017, looking for something cool for their bookshelf or, board game or something like that. That ship has sailed.
It's sticky, man. Like, what can you, legitimately, what can you do about it? Because if you have a bigger team, you have a bigger team. You got to pay your people. And it at least a part of the larger gaming community over the years has expressed some empathy for the working conditions of people that make video games, but not everyone does. Not everyone cares. And that's like a hard truth. So it's like, if you can find a way to eke out a game with a very small team to where you can actually afford to sell a pretty well-rounded product at a very low price, like that's your prerogative. That's your freedom. And if it's a successful product, it's a successful product. Congratulations. You still made tons of money because there's not that many people you got to split it with. And larger studios just cannot compete economically. What do you do about that?
And it's so I want to be cool like Team Cherry someday. I see them do stuff like, "Hey, we said this was going to be DLC. If you back the Kickstarter, you get a copy of Silksong, even though it's a full game now." Like, that's just cool guy Greg kind of stuff to do. 2015, that's some serious petting big doggos and all that energy. I like that. I want to be cool like that. And the development team size allowed them to be patient and have fun with their development and put out something that they were passionate about. But finding those individuals to work is not easy. And of course, with so many multi-talented people on a team, you're able to execute along those lines. Did you see the GTA 6As? Or is it 5As now?
Is this a joke or
no? This is another executive being like, "Hey, you remember the Skull and Bones? How it was Quad A? Well, we're going 5A on this."
Okay, if you are gonna bring this up, I need attribution. Who said this and who you can't just say this shit.
Well, the problem is,
you don't get to move on. You do not get to move on without attribution.
Yes, please look it up. Because
you don't get to do this. You do this shit.
I didn't want to know their name.
And then I see a comment 3 hours later that says, that's not a thing. It was never a thing. And I get the messages for the shit that you just bring up without knowing where it came from. Quadruple A. I don't know. What the hell do I even
look for all the look it up. We're going deep.
I'm finding nothing. I'm finding absolutely nothing.
Chat saying that it was Devolver Digital, and if that's true, they're a bunch of jokey jokesters.
Oh, okay. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, industry veteran. Wait, what? Wait, hang on. Okay, so I was had by GameSpot.
Okay, so shout out to PCGamer.com, who has the story written by Joshua Wollens. Great news, everyone. We discovered two new A's actually, and it's all thanks to Grand Theft Auto 6. Nigel Lowry, co-founder of Devolver Digital, in an interview with IGN in a chat about Silksong. My God, word soup. Let's just get could they talk about
wonderful.
YouTube, and then they will literally be talking about everything. Said there are AAA games, and then there's quadruple A games, said Lowry. I'd argue that Grand Theft Auto is potentially the 5A game. That's a quintuple A. So yeah, there you go. So no one involved in GTA 6 made this joke.
Okay, all right. So I'm glad we fact checked me. I would personally like to blame GameSpot for the title. GTA 6 is the first 5A game, industry veteran says, and I went bullshit and didn't read it. So that's on me, but it's on them, and let's all share the blame. I'm glad we corrected me this day.
Please correct yourself in the future.
I also do like Devolver, so I'm okay with this now.
Well, yes. It's the first freaking paragraph.
Rockstar. No, wait. Okay, according to Devolver Digital. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. That's sorry. I'm sorry. Let me fact check. Let me fact check myself. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It is in the first paragraph.
It's the first sentence.
It's in the first sentence. Yes, but I didn't click it because I didn't give a shit about this industry veteran.
Which is fine, but like also just don't talk about it then.
Well, I get to talk.
Don't talk about it.
It's my podcast. I'm going to talk about it, and now I've been corrected. And we can move on anyway. The other weird thing that's happened in ads this weekend is the pushing of the platform, and that's been one of the oddest things with Silksong. You know, is Silksong worthy of the score of 93 on Xbox Live? And you're like, that's not an ad for Silksong. That's not a review of Silksong. That's an ad for Xbox.
That sounds like it was a title generated by AI.
It's an ad for Xbox Live, is what that is. But anyway, it's interesting to see the indie side of things because, of course, I do feel for them. Seeing a juggernaut come out like that and being like, I think $20 is a pretty good price for my game that I worked on for 2 years.
Yeah, I mean. Again, they can because of their team size. Like that's what I see out of this. They can do it because of their team size. It's just it's the way the freaking world works. You can afford to charge a certain amount based on your initial investment. Most people with a business can't sell at a loss. The only one of those that we're used to around these parts are typically like console sales. They traditionally sell consoles at a loss, but even then, here we are with the PS5 going up by $50 for who knows what reason. Who could possibly know? Many, 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 many years after its release. I love the future, Kyle. The future is now. It's wonderful.
The future does keep putting out good games, though, so that's pretty good. There's been a lot of good games this year.
It has been a very good year. It's been a very good year, and Team Cherry lifts my spirits in a year with seemingly a year with new record amounts of layoffs, which it just keeps happening year after year. But this year seems particularly egregious, like with those those insane Microsoft layoffs is the example I'm thinking of right now, because they posted record profits, and yet they fired thousands of people. But again, it's a double-edged sword, man, because I go, oh, it's great. Look at this. Look at this, look at this studio finding success in a year where the massive mega corporations are just being absolutely cutthroat with their game studios. Does it actually help? Because if their team is this small, it's not really helping offset like all of the people who find themselves without a job this year.
No, and if you go smaller and smaller, you're not gonna be hiring that many people. Oh, that's true.
Right. Yeah, it just kind of exacerbates the issue.
Yeah, like the Dreamhaven news, that was kind of crazy.
What, just that they're underperforming?
Yeah, they put out 3 games over the last 2 years, and just like none of them made a splash. I have heard really good things about their tabletop.
Sunder Folk, yeah, is supposedly really good. I am not personally drawn to tabletop video games. Like, they're just not a thing I'm particularly interested in. So I haven't even looked at it. So I can't speak to that. I did play Wildgate. I tried Wildgate. Did not care for it. And I just didn't want to get into it, full disclosure, because I have friends who worked on it. Because I'm just like, I don't want to talk about how I didn't like this game because I got buddies who worked on it and want to let them, live their life and vibe in their element. But yeah, I did not particularly care for it. I'm very picky about my shooters.
Sundergate's super cool because it's kind of like Jackbox in that you can have one player running it and everyone else can join via their phone. So it's a great little party game. But you're not double dipping for the co-op pricing and at a $50 asking fee to get the first person involved, to sit down their friends, to get out their phones. It's just kind of a large activity.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm just kind of bummed because like a lot of our friends ended up over at Dreamhaven after just years of Blizzard turmoil. And so I was just I was rooting for them. And so yeah, I haven't had much to say because it's just kind of a bummer that they're not really finding the success that they were hoping for right out the gate here. The closest thing I have to like a read on the situation is like, I don't know, I guess a take is, I don't know, I think we were all expecting something bigger from essentially, the sequel to Blizzard.
That is,
and these are all, more, intimate games. They're smaller scale games. This is not, a successor to Warcraft, a successor to Diablo, a successor to World of Warcraft. These are, Wildgate is Overwatch adjacent. But I would even say in the grand scheme of Blizzard that Overwatch is a smaller scale game.
Well, and that conversation's being had around things like Turtle WoW. IP. Mm-hmm. Even when those teams went off and made their own studios, people kind of just hoped for knockoffs. And then they got one with, you just said that I'm looking at the name Wildgate, so I can't remember the name of the not StarCraft game, which I think also has Gate in the title. What is that thing called? Frost Giant?
No, you're thinking of Splitgate, which failed as well with its sequel.
What's the not StarCraft one? Frost Giant.
Oh, game. Stormgate. It does have Stormgate.
Oh my God! Yeah, I was right.
Sorry,
I was right.
That's the one that David Kim isn't working on. What's the one that David Kim's working on? Where it's like there's no building. Like it's like the 5-minute RTS game because David Kim worked on a new RTS.
Gameplay revealed Battle Aces looks like the title I found in a quick search.
Yes, Battle Aces. Okay, yeah. Because it's an interesting year. It's an interesting year for RTSs because we got 2 new RTSs on the scene from StarCraft alumni.
Right, but now we're kind of seeing these games come out, and even here I see some chunky boys looking kind of like Immortals, and your brain goes, well, that's nice. Even got Tasteless and Artosis here to cast the.
They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, but still, your brain says, "But I do kind of just want Raynor and Marines and Zerg and Protoss and."
Huh? That sounds familiar. I distinctly remember having a conversation with you about Stormgate where that was my take, and you were like, "How dare you?"
I wanted to believe. I really did. I was fooling myself as much as I was trying to fool you. Because
it really looked like Wish.com StarCraft.
I love the idea of more RTS. Here you can even see the things teleporting, like the they weren't dragoons. What were they called? Stalkers? No, those are the big tall guys. What was the teleporting?
No. Stalkers are the teleporting ones. Colossus are the big
Colossals. Guys. Well, yeah. Yeah,
Stalkers could blink.
You can see the DNA in here. I mean, this actually looks kind of fun, like a Marine. I think it was called Marine King. I know that was also a player, but there was a custom game in StarCraft and Warcraft 3 where you basically had a base, you would upgrade the units, and they would just spawn out, and you just keep battling them over and over again. I mean, this looks fun, but it's lacking that IP. And, that's why all these classic servers, these private servers are finding success, because a lot of times people don't want new products. They want what they already know.
They want new things in the product that they already love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just a direct sequel. But even that, I mean, look at Overwatch. Sometimes a direct sequel isn't a hit. Overwatch 2 is obviously it's doing fine, but it's not the launch of Overwatch 2 was not the cultural moment that the launch of Overwatch 1 was.
No, Overwatch 2, that was a weird one because it felt like they were trying to unleash hype artificially because they decided so. And then they even brought back the old version of how many people were on what team and all that. They added a new character recently, though, so that's not a sign of success necessarily, but they are still trying to expand the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at this. I wasn't following closely, so I was unaware of this. But Battle Aces, the other RTS, the one you weren't really talking about, but the one that David Kim was part of, that's already done. It's already done. They've officially canceled or stopped development.
Oh, damn.
On that game. Yeah. As of looks like May of this year, due to insufficient support and weak metrics.
Yeah, I can even see there's this little walker that comes out, and you can hear the sound effect whoosh, as he folds out his legs into a little tripod and turns into a siege tank. This is StarCraft. But we don't really want that. We want StarCraft.
StarCraft it's strong, man. In terms of far future, tribal based combat, I'd say it's probably second most famous, only to Warhammer 40K. You want faction based combat in the far future? Those are probably the two most famous damn things in existence. And it's why we always say it's a miracle any games get made, and it's an even further miracle that any games are a success, because it takes so long to make these damn things, and it's tough, right? What are you really asking for? Because they could try for StarCraft 3, and it might flop, it might not hit. So you don't want something to be too similar. You don't want something that's so similar that it just makes you think of the IP they're not allowed to use. But you also don't want them to take the IP that you want them to use and not innovate enough or not innovate too much. It's the same paradox that musicians have to deal with. You got to make a new album, but if you change too much, everyone's going to hate you. And if you don't change enough, everyone's going to say you're resting on your laurels or you're in a sophomore slump.
Well, and the RTS genre is so difficult to plan for because you have that extreme investment from the people who want their buildings hidden in fog of war to increase difficulty, the macro and the micro at the same time. And when you look at statistics, you look at something like a battle arena, you go, well, that's actually more successful than StarCraft ever was. I'm going to remove all the parts that people don't like anymore. And you end up with product nobody wants.
Yeah, and I see RTS as even more difficult because I like RTS, and I will tell you right now, I'm done with the genre. I don't. It's not even like an age thing. It's not that I necessarily think I'm too old to be good at it ever again. It's that I just know how much time it takes to be good, and I just don't want to go through that ever again. And things like Battle Aces were trying to combat that by making matches significantly shorter, but there wasn't enough interest for that. and I'm part of the problem because I even knew that, and I just went, even though you're trying to address one of my key concerns with RTS as a genre, I'm still like, yeah, I had my day, and in terms of games that appeal to an older demographic, I'd rather spend my time with an MMO like experience. And if I'm going to go play a game that demands a lot of my time to quote unquote get good, apparently I'm going to go to Hollow Knight and Silksong because that's where I'm at right now. Or I'll go back to what FromSoft has to offer me.
Yeah,
those take a lot of time.
I don't feel too old for anything, but I do relate my experience of being a teenager with wanting attention and being in the mall and being like, look at me, I'm dancing on a table. I hope I impress somebody and score a mate with my peacockery. And I relate that feeling directly to how I felt about StarCraft. Like, I came home every day with a great need to prove myself to someone random out there and make my existence known. And I don't have that drive to compete in that way anymore. And MMO is way more interesting because I will make a lasting, more meaningful relationship with the people I raid with and the individuals I connect to. And then, of course, there's just having a journey, like a Silksong, sitting down at night and experiencing something greater than yourself, a journey you could never personally go on. And, well, I mean, that kind of brings me into MMO for the week, if you don't mind the transition.
Yeah, let's talk about what's going on with MMOs. You want to talk about the remainder of the Yoshi-P interviews?
Yeah, let's transition over to that real quick, and then we'll talk more about the private servers and all that business. Because Yoshi-P continued his madhouse explaining of himself across time and space over the last 7 days, giving out a ton of interviews back to back, and many sources are covering the same article, but each kind of has its own spin. So let's make our way through these a little bit. I found 4 different coverages on what Yoshi-P has been saying about Final Fantasy XIV and the major changes to their content in the future, with a twist for the clickbait.
Is there an actual twist? Because I started to read up on this stuff, and I got to tell you, I noped out pretty quick because I feel like it's the same tease with no meat all over again in terms of job design.
Well, that's the one that he kind of lost the footing on, because he's warning people it won't be so different that they won't like it anymore, while also trying to hype up that it's going to change, and you created a non-statement. But to start, he's continuing to talk about the...
That was my read.
Yeah.
That was my read on that situation.
The first interview here is about the content hierarchy. So if you'd like to read this first pile of quotes from VGC Charts.
Sure. So yeah, some of these pull quotes that Kyle has prepared for you here from Yoshi-P reads, I started to feel recently particularly that the way that things are structured in Final Fantasy XIV no longer matches the player's preferences. And this is something that I started to feel after we entered this year. And so I felt that now we are at a time where we need to incorporate a major change in the content hierarchy and also the game's design. And this is limited not just to expansions, but to the overall development of Final Fantasy XIV. He continues saying, what we're trying to do now is to change the design so that we have content which can be enjoyed by everyone. So from the hardcore player's perspective, that there would be 5 types of content, and for the casual player's perspective, there's also 5 types. I'm assuming that's just an example. I don't think this is an announcement that there will be 5 hardcore player pieces of content and 5 casual player pieces of content.
Well, this applies to what they were talking about in the recent live letter, in that they want to have ways to crank and change content to be different styles. So there's things like, the deep dungeon, where it'll get harder the further you go, the more rewards you get, all that. But also that kind of like weird essence gem system where you could dump 40 points into the boss to make it ultimate tier, or you could put 30 points into the boss to make it savage tier. And by
they're doing in deep dungeon, but only with one boss.
But
right?
that is hopefully their philosophy. What they're saying is there's going to be more quality and less quantity, but also everything should be every tier. And that's kind of what he's expounding on a lot in these interviews. And it's an interesting idea, you know, that every single piece of content could be cranked from casual to hardcore.
Well, if there's any battle to it at all, I can picture that. Enemies hit harder, enemies have more health. There might be additional mechanics. Basically, what we already do with regular trials, extreme trials, regular raids, savage raids. Ultimates are their own freaking thing, so I'm not going to get into that. But yeah.
Next quote here is about the job battle design.
Okay. So Yoshi-P says, when it comes to using the jobs in battle content and bringing out more of that uniqueness of each job, we are working on a big update. But then he also says that people might think of it as an expansion of the system that we have in the game. So the players who already like the way things are can feel at ease that nothing is going to change for their experience, but we're trying to do something new on top of what we already have. This is the quote that made me say, okay, I'm done reading Yoshi-P interviews from this entire press junket. This is useless.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Just thanks. This is nothing.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of excitement for the upcoming 8.0 battle update and job design.
I have. This is a very personal sore spot. I have had to have any remotely interesting conversation about hopes for future job designs immediately stifled by Yoshi-P fanboys because the folks immediately want to get in my mentions and say, no, don't expect anything in all of Dawn Trail because big changes are coming in 8.0. And then I say, what kind of big changes? And they say, we don't know. Yoshi-P hasn't told us enough. And I'm like, cool. Thanks for ruining any joy of conversation around job design, Yoshi-P. We can't talk about it. So, and now, after being stifled for a year, I'm told it's probably not going to change that much. And I go, okay. So what?
Yeah, it seems, and even this article points out from PC Gamer that he has gotten into the habit of speaking in vagaries because everything is so misinterpreted no matter what he says. So he's constantly walking back and countering himself in this quest to build hype. He's also destroyed said hype that may have existed. Now, the next article gets into what they're hoping to do with things like the big MSQ moments.
Okay, that's fine. Just for a second though, like, be Kyle for me, not a reporter.
Okay,
how do you feel? How do you feel about the future job design teasing?
Oh, Okay. I need to get out of my own way here because I read about this on Reddit and I saw the list of dates. And people have a very encyclopedic mind of what Yoshi-P has said in the past. So,
well, some people do, and chances are, if they're on Reddit, yeah, that they fit they fit the profile.
So what I saw was responses of, well, he said he was interested in talents in 2019 and adding that sort of system could certainly give some identity as you express yourself with that job. No, he said in 2016 he would never do that, but that's before the law came out that you could, and it does kind of just constantly restrict that. You know, my pet project has always been they're messing with PvP and the contact timing on abilities and getting rid of snapshots or adjusting it in PvP environments. And I think that maybe it wouldn't be the best advertisement to say, hey, 8.0 snapshots are gone from the game. But I would find that exciting, just as a design point of view.
That would incite so many people.
It would, because it's part of the game. It's a feature, not a bug. And it's what people have come to expect. And a lot of people find skill expression in those moments of snapshots. And I don't particularly like or dislike them. I just think it would be an exciting announcement.
Yeah, for the most part, I like them now. My initial like when I was first getting on board with Final Fantasy 14 and like for doing any sort of even slightly difficult content like extremes, my gut reaction was, ew, I don't care for this at all. But you know, we're multiple years deep into our Final Fantasy 14 journey. We have now done 2 Savage tiers. For the most part, I'm totally fine with snapshots. There's very specific fights, like Dancing Green is one that I have historically not been a fan of because I find that some of the mechanics, the snapshots are evil. But you know, that's it's fine. I enjoy more fights than I don't. And the way that boss attacks are counted as a tick and doled out, I'm used to it. And I would even go as far as to say I rather like it in Final Fantasy 14, and I can totally turn that part of my brain off when I go over to something like World of Warcraft, and I can intermingle between the two, and I can walk in both worlds, and it's totally fine. Doesn't really bother me. It would be a big change if they, you know, hypothetically decided to get rid of them, but it's not something I'm asking for. That's interesting that you would find that you'd be excited about that.
Yeah. I'll have to think on this one and get back to you. It's a great question. I've got a lot of other voices in my head.
Yeah. Garrett got nowhere that I have quite a decent amount of rhythm. I will be the first to admit when I'm bad at something. I have a pretty solid sense of rhythm.
Well, and
anyway, and within, you want to move on to MSQ, or you have another thought?
Oh yeah, I can summarize this next one pretty quickly. They want to have more individuality showcased in the MSQ for hero moments, and we want to maintain the importance of those moving forward. Great, we all love the recent 7.3 moment. You know, more of those are definitely on the table. What is funny is in this next PC Games article is that he goes into how they have to counteract skippers when they design gameplay. And something like the recent puzzle room that exists inside of 7.3 was a big point of contention for those who were racing to get their extreme done. Because suddenly they found themselves in a room that they didn't know how they got there. They didn't know what they were supposed to be doing. And all they wanted to do was go fight the newest boss.
I'm sorry that I find that funny.
It is like,
I liked the puzzle room.
It is funny. Yeah, it is a funny situation to be in. You know, the Gandalf, I have no memory of this place. Like it's hilarious. Yeah. But to have that as a game design worry that he's experiencing is fascinating.
Well, you do. I mean, to his credit, you need to worry about those players and the hidden text on this from me, Kyle. This is this tinfoil hat. But the hidden text on this is they have enough skippers that they need to care.
Yes.
Because if it was like less than 1% of the player population that complained, they probably wouldn't worry about it.
There's a misunderstanding. They're not fundamentally playing the game correctly. I don't like that there's more than 3 buttons. Like, it's an MMO. I can't help you. There's going to be elements of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the quotes that you pulled regarding this read as follows. Yoshi-P said, within the MSQ, we can't always provide a unique expression for the jobs in every patch, but when it comes to using the jobs in battle content and bringing out more of that uniqueness of each job, we are working on a big update. In terms of wait, this has nothing to do with the puzzle stuff.
Oh, you're reading the one I summarized earlier. Go ahead and jump down to this stuff.
Oh, okay. On the puzzle room and gameplay set, on the other hand, there are some players who just want to rush through the main scenario as fast as they can. And for them, this kind of element was more of a burden for them and it got in the way. But at the end of the day, the important thing is the experience of the players, and the story is a part of that. So we want to take a look at what good feedback we received and what bad feedback we received. And we can look at making the best of all that feedback in order to create something new. Should I continue?
Continue.
PC Games N writes, unfortunately, if you're a story skipper, that might cause some small progress blockers. And then continue with Yoshi-P quotes, because Yoshi-P said they usually would skip all of the text just to get to the MSQ. Yoshi-P continued, but this time around, they actually need to read the text in order to clear that portion. He went on to say that it's difficult for us to tweak it in such a way that it's accommodating for the players who really want to immerse themselves and enjoy it as much as they can, and also for those players who just want to rush through everything because they want to play the latest Extreme trial as fast as possible. That's the challenge.
Could you make a server for them? The battle server?
You know,
like
with my WoW brain right now of being like, maybe you should have a few more versions of Classic that appeal to the total WoW crowd, and just keep making servers. Like, I want my permanent Wrath Classic server really bad. I want to go play Wrath, just Wrath. I don't want to go back to Wrath in retail, and I don't want to go back to Wrath in Classic right now because they're up to freaking Mists of Pandaria. So I am not being served. So I'm not currently playing on a private Wrath server, but I would like to.
I mean, that'd be kind of a fun challenge server to have.
I mean, maybe it would be completely unprecedented. They've never done anything like this in the history of Final Fantasy XIV, but maybe. I don't immediately hate that idea.
I mean, what? Yeah, you log in, you make a character, and then big moon ifrit falls down, and you go. And where am I? What? They don't care. Yeah, let them rock. And then you rock its face, then you rock Garuda or Titan, and then and just like, I don't know, bake in the extremes along the way, like make the tier of difficulty.
Yeah, you just call it Final Fantasy XIV X-Play Edition. Everyone will love it.
Call it a roguelite. You start with Gladiator, and then you unlock a Paladin along the way, and when you die, you go back to Gladiator in the beginning, and you just keep, inside the lockout, of course. You
Final Fantasy XIV No Cutscenes Edition.
Yeah.
Because you could. They should consider it if there's enough friction there. Yeah, Kyle wants a whole new game. No big issue. I mean, it's an existing game with stuff stripped out. Like, yes. I don't know. Like, I don't know how difficult that would be. You already have a skip cutscene feature. Like, how hard would it be to just be like, yeah, just have that activated all the time. No more cutscenes. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. My thought here is like, I hope they come up with an answer because I really liked the puzzle bit.
The puzzle bit was great.
I am definitely in the camp of main scenario questing in Final Fantasy XIV feels a little samey. It feels a little stale. It's definitely way too much. Talk to this person that they can tell you to go talk to this other person. And so I liked the interactivity of the puzzle portion of the MSQ. I did not find it particularly hard, but it does 100% require reading dialogue to figure it out. I mean, you could eventually just get there from trial and error, but it would take quite a while to do that. It would actually be significantly faster if you just read the damn dialogue. But yeah, no, it was honestly one of the most delightful parts of the 7.3 MSQ for me because it feels like go talk to this person or go kill X amount of boars are like the only two things so often and not that we are doing in MMO quests. And so having a fun enough puzzle that kind of let the characters of this game have a moment, that really worked for me. I thought that it just felt really natural for Final Fantasy XIV. I liked it. I thought it was unique. I'd like to see more of it. So I hope they figure something out.
While still being inside your expectation, which is like 3 to 5 hours in and out adventure. Because there's things like Legion, which were wonderful adventures in World of Warcraft. But let's say you put out Legion MSQ. You walk into a room, someone says, hey, Warrior of Light, you're pretty cool. Run 10 dungeons and come back later, and I'll tell you the next cool thing.
What a cool Warrior of Light.
But that wouldn't match the expectation. And there'd be a huge content issue there to kind of gatekeep that story.
Yeah,
but ultimately provide more content.
You can change expectation over time, but yeah. I'm also with Sakura in chat who says I'd love to see hardcore Final Fantasy XIV worlds. I think it'd be really fun to try and get all the way through the 14 MSQ without dying.
It'd be a very different game.
Well, because there's a ton of dungeons you have to do, and there's a ton of trials that you have to do.
Yeah, it certainly would make those quite serious.
And suddenly the solo duties that I really don't like until Endwalker. I found almost every solo duty like really kind of just in the way and not particularly compelling for me until Endwalker has some sick solo duties. Also some very hard solo duties. Yeah, suddenly those would be terrifying.
Well, as long as the stealth ones aren't death, that would be the worst.
Getting caught.
Yeah, if you get caught and then you died. I died in my Astrologian unlock quest because I didn't follow someone correctly.
Would you count this as Thancred because you're not playing as yourself?
Well, Thancred's dead. Yeah, I think you would get a free go at it.
You have to come up with a rule, like health bar 0. Like if it's very much strictly health bar 0 equals you delete your character, then this is Thancred wouldn't count. But in from the cold would count because of, well, what happens there. You're technically not playing your character, but you technically are playing your character.
One of the other interviews he went on to give was with IGN coverage about hopeful Switch 2 port incoming. The discussions have been positive, says the quote. And I look forward to good news in the future, says Yoshi-P.
That'd be great. That'd be great for the game. Hell yeah. Make it happen. Also, I have a Switch 2, and then I could play Final Fantasy 14 wherever I want because I don't have a Steam Deck.
Wouldn't you need to own a second copy? Is it one of those?
So.
Yeah.
I believe so, but just wait for a sale. I'm sure it'll be fine. Also, Kyle, Final Fantasy 14 is a business expense for us. I don't know if you know this, and if you don't, you should talk to your tax professional.
I'm more concerned about the playing through it again aspect of the equation, having a character locked away on a console. That would be my concern, but I know what you mean.
I think you can access your roster. But I do think you have to buy a different copy of the game. But can't you? I think you can link your account, can't you?
Interesting. I'm not sure about that.
I am almost positive you can link your account. Chat, can you link your account? Can I, have I just been horribly assuming some really wrong shit forever? Your account is linked between them. Okay.
Cool. So it's kind of like region locking in a multiplayer game. You have to, that you don't share characters on. Never mind.
You do need to buy a different copy, but you can connect your account.
Okay.
You could have a second account if you want. I don't know why you would want to do that, but
I went through the effort of trying to get it running on a Steam Deck and just kind of gave up. It was a lot of work.
It's not Steam Deck verified?
The launcher inside of Steam you have to go into Linux and install it separately because it's just a launcher for Steam. I couldn't just quickly say, hey, get me 14.
So if that's the case, Switch 2 would be the much easier way to play this on a handheld.
Yeah.
Well, portable device. I think if handheld is something that fits in my pocket.
But that's the Yoshi-P roundup. Everything he was saying over the last week.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give it to you, man. I should have kept reading. There was a lot more interesting stuff in here.
There's some tidbits. The battle system thing is bizarre. But I do find
I remain grumpy about the job stuff.
I feel for him greatly and being misconstrued constantly. I also find his waxings fascinating about the players he has and hardcore to midcore. I honestly don't know how that's going to work out. Like, that is just a straight up faster horse situation for me. I see anybody say, and you can change the difficulty. Well, why? I want a handcrafted experience.
Why would I want?
Why would I make it harder for myself? For rewards. Well, which one is the best reward? Which one?
We do make it harder on ourselves by opting into extremes and savages.
That's true. But that feels like a crafted experience. When you put a gauge on it, things can start feeling iffy. But you're right. If it is merely the change up between like normal and savage, and now there is like a story version, I guess I would trust that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really what I'm looking like. I'm not looking for a non-story 14 experience. Really, if we ever do a hardcore run, we'll probably skip a lot of the story until we get the Shadowbringers, and I will watch every single scene with Emmett in its entirety. But yeah. In the meantime, I still really think you and I should get some max level tunes in retail WoW and become mythic dungeon players. Like, I think having a proper experience with infinite, increasingly difficult content in another MMO that has that, and it's a particularly popular way to play that game, would just do us well for filling out our brains for, what modern MMOs are doing with their end game.
Well, interesting you bring up what's going on in the MMO space, because our next bit.
It's what we've been talking about for 30 minutes.
I know. I'm just attempting to transition in some sort of, titillating way. More classic servers are down.
I have no idea what you're going to talk about, because I was just like, it feels like it's about Turtle WoW. We already had this conversation. How is this different from our Turtle WoW conversation from last week?
One of the big things about the Turtle WoW was that they were taking out their biggest enemy when it comes to, stealing their IP, making money off their assets, and all that kind of thing.
Biggest enemy is themselves.
That is
not giving players what they want.
That is one of the conversations, of course, but they have gone on to issue more and more cease and desists to other private WoW servers being run, particularly those that offer Classic Plus-like experiences. And if you're not familiar with that, it's that you have Classic WoW, Vanilla WoW, and then they've added their own content on top of that. And sometimes it's as simple as like talent randomizers, or every time you level up, you get an ability from a random job. And sometimes it is a handcrafted dungeon that happens outside of the original game. Like you go to Razorfen Crawl, and now there is a even harder dungeon on the other side of that. Like you can quest further into things. And I actually ended up doing a lot of reading about Turtle WoW over the weekend, and oh man, does that sound like something I'd want. I have absolutely fallen in love with the idea of a MMO that adds content in the leveling process, maintains the same max level, but gives me a new dungeon at level 13. And I attribute this one to very much like a way I play D&D. If you say, hey, do you want to join my campaign? You're basically saying, hey, do you want to raid Molten Core? No. When? How? Why? I have so many questions about the commitment needed to get there. But you say, hey, I added a new level 10 dungeon. You basically just prescribe me a one-shot. And I'll go, ooh, juicy. Let me get in your game. What do I want to play? I'm only going to have like 2 abilities, but, I'll get a new character. I'll go do the level 10 dungeon. Maybe I'll add that to my staple. I'll keep leveling up on the other side. Then the MMO says, hey, we've added a new level 30 dungeon. Maybe I'm level 40 on that character. I'm like, crap, I got to start a new character. And that more MMO as a leveling experience and interacting in a repeatable way like we like doing with hardcore WoW is a very, very interesting concept. In today's day where we have gone from, box copy expansions that have many kind of chaotic updates to more of a roadmap seasons kind of approach, the whole box copy system feels kind of weird and greedy now because there's so much time in between these updates. What if we just had one game that kept updating?
So you're saying death to expansions?
To an extent here. Like, why have we always progressed up in expansions? And that's something that this Classic Plus has been exploring. And now Blizzard's coming in and saying, we're doing our own. You need to stop stealing our IP because we're about to launch our own Classic Plus.
You could just be Blizzard and do both.
Make both your ever escalating.
They're still making expansions for retail, and they've still and at the same time they have launched entirely different classic experiences like hardcore and Season of Discovery.
Yeah, the interesting part is that so many people flock to something like Turtle for that experience, and now Blizzard's attempting to say, we will provide you that experience, and people are untrusting of it, in the pipeline, which is fair. They're, particularly with the thing you've kind of mentioned. I wasn't even really aware of this, that Wrath of the Lich King is just gone. It became the next expansion.
They're starting Burning Crusade fresh servers soon, so I imagine a few years in the future they will have Wrath Fresh servers. It's part of the 20th anniversary celebration of World of Warcraft. If you can believe it, Kyle, 20 years of WoW.
I believe it.
I can believe it. I was riding shotgun with Katie the other day, and I look out to my right, and on the car next to us, on their back window, I see the meteor icon and a silhouette sticker of Hildy doing the Manderville dance.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And I just go, holy shit. And I immediately felt old because I remember a time where every day I would see a Horde sticker on a car out on the road. Every damn day. And the year was 2006. The year was 2006. And every time I went anywhere, I saw multiple World of Warcraft stickers on cars. This is the first time I've ever seen Final Fantasy XIV paraphernalia in the wild outside of attending a fan fest. And I can't tell you the last time I saw a Horde symbol on a car.
Well, we're also a much more diverse culture now than we were back then.
Monoculture is dead.
Yeah, because it was easy to find what people were into and be into the same things. You know, now you say you like superheroes, or which ones? You know, is it a Korean cartoon? Is it a Japanese Sentai show? Like
that happened when we were growing up.
Absolutely, but now we have access. It's not a rare thing. Like something Kristen talks about a lot because she worked in a video store, is how accessible anime is nowadays. Like this would be like her boss would go on a trip to Japan and come back with stacks of VHSs and be like, I'm putting these on the shelf. Here, take this one. What you gotta watch this one. And she consumes so much like oddball things.
Were they subtitled?
Some of them were.
How would you know what they were about?
Some of them were, some of them weren't. You know, you did your best.
You just put them on and vibed, huh?
Yeah, just put them on.
I used to do that with my friend, my cousin used to do that with ROMs. I would never do that, but my friend totally downloaded every Dragon Ball Z and Gundam game he could get from Japanese ROM sites.
Sure, or you'd like try to find the subtitle pack to attach the video that you had gotten somehow in some way. Like it was a Wild West, but you can hyperfixate on anything nowadays, and you know with YouTube channels, and sometimes it's just the official channel, like the owner of the product, like Mini Force or what's it called, Dino King Rex or something like that. They're uploading all their episodes onto the internet. You don't have to work hard to get them.
Pokemon right now on the official Pokemon YouTube.
Yeah, even
it's
Pokemon
the most complete place to freaking watch it.
And Pokemon has its own app where you can watch something. You know, not all of it. Maybe
that app is a nightmare. I tried going to that app to watch Pokemon. That app is a hellhole. But yeah, I don't know, man. Turtle Wild seems cool. And Blizzard should just be, I don't know, as much as they can, rapidly iterating on classic experiences. There's clearly an appetite for it.
Yeah, and for me, the idea of these smaller one-shot days with friends is very seductive, in addition to filling out a world in a non-linear way. Like horizontal lore. I feel like vertical lore has plot. It's kind of vertical lore. And ultimately, it doesn't enrich past a point. Because you always got to find something new. The sand snakes will appear in Game of Thrones, and you're going to go, who? What? Where? But the idea of horizontally expanding a game is very, very interesting.
It's cool. It's neat. I'm into it. I was playing retail, and then I was just like, Kyle's not going to catch up to me anytime soon. What am I doing with my life? So I went back to hardcore. I've been playing WoW hardcore right now. That's what I've been playing. In addition to some Hollow Knight and stuff. We'll talk about Hollow Knight in a second. But since we're talking about classic World of Warcraft, I went from retail. That new zone in retail is awesome. I know you've been kind of interested to dip your toe in there. You should do it. You should just get into retail, get your ass to that new zone. It is freaking Burning Crusade is hell. It's what the hell is it called? It's Koresh. It's the home of what remains of the home of the Ethereals, which was a race that we originally met in Burning Crusade. The ghost mummy people. I love them. In BC, man, there was nothing cooler than the ethereals. They were so neat. Anyway, in retail World of Warcraft right now with the latest patch, you can go to what remains of their destroyed homeworld, Karesh, and it just straight up looks like you're going out to Outland, but if they made it in 2025. It looks awesome. Biodomes and everything included. It's just like this torn, crazy hellscape with a really cool, beautiful, like spacey skybox. And then you go into one of these biodomes and it's beautiful and it's lush and green. And I'd seen a couple screenshots of it and I just didn't think much of it because I've just been I just haven't been tapped into retail lately. War Within, didn't really grab me by the narrative, by my narrative tassels. We'll just call it narrative tassels.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, man, I just got in because I was that freaking midnight cinematic has me really hyped, man. I'm not gonna lie, has me really hyped. But I was not expecting to be kind of fanning out over this new zone, but I'm fanning out over it. I really like BC. I really like aesthetic is important to me, and that's an aesthetic that I really enjoy. And here it is brought up to 2025 World of Warcraft graphical fidelity standards, and it's really freaking sick. I think you'll like it when you get there. I will say, because I know you were an extremely slow quester, there is an absurd number of quests for the onboarding for this zone. So I would just warn you of that.
I remember Argus being pretty huge, about that size probably.
Oh yeah, maybe a little bigger. I don't know, because you can fly immediately upon getting here. Yeah, it's great. Dude, no one does zones like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is undefeated in zone design when it comes to MMOs.
It is pretty,
and
they
just
now
keep kind of knocking it out of the park. Except I would say Dragonflight was kind of a letdown. Like all the zones kind of, it's just mountains and forests. There was like no cities in that entire damn expansion except for the one main city.
Yeah, it's easy to say one note in many ways, but I didn't.
Dragonflight was very one note in my opinion. Yeah. But War Within did a good job. I'm not really being underground is not one of my favorite aesthetics. So in that way, War Within doesn't really do it for me. But that's a personal thing. The zones are pretty freaking sick looking. Yeah, really, this new zone is really cool, and it's definitely triggering the BC nostalgia in a really positive way. But it led to me going back to hardcore because we're doing a collab soon. Maybe teasing folks. We may be dusting off some hardcore characters, and I thought it'd be fun to give one of our buddies the chance to tank if they want to. So I now have like a level 22 priest that I've been solo leveling in WoW Hardcore.
What level were we when we stopped?
28.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So you're getting there.
6 more levels. I need 6 more levels. I have successfully healed dead mines 3 times now.
Well, you're in need. Yeah, if you're walking around as a healer in that area.
Dude, I was just out natural. In freaking Red Ridge. I was out in Red Ridge, solo leveling, just by myself. I got like 7 whispers. Hey, you want to heal dead mines?
That's
I'm like, mofo,
shit.
I am nowhere near dead mines. I just did it twice, and both times, the first time we had a mage that had a death wish. It was just arcane explosioning constantly. And the second time we had a tank who refused to use a shield and would just keep pulling regardless of what my mana was currently at. So I was ready to throw up. So I was not interested in replying to any of those whispers at that time.
Means server identity, building your legend. Hell yeah, that's what it's about, being a priest, walking around. Oh my god,
yeah, man.
Getting that attention.
I've never healed outside of PvP. So this is like all new for me. I feel like a god. Let me tell you, I'm not sure the high would hit the same outside of hardcore. But being in hardcore and knowing that I'm the reason other people are alive, y'all, let me tell you, I've never had anything hit like this in an MMO. It is a god complex I have never experienced.
Okay. Well, you need to rewatch the smack talk you laid down on our Joe Cat Final Fantasy 14 healer guide video.
That doesn't count. That's not hardcore. There's no stakes in Final Fantasy 14.
You told me there was nothing I could do that you couldn't do better.
Well,
So
it's Final Fantasy
I'm glad
14,
you're
so
enjoying it.
that's actually pretty true. Tanks are pretty survivable in Final Fantasy 14 compared to World of Warcraft.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. And then you went home and continued Hollow Knight as well.
I have spent the last few nights surpassing where I left off idiotically on your copy of Hollow Knight.
Idiotically?
I should not have played on your Steam account.
Oh,
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know if you were going to like it or not, you know? That was fair.
So shout out to our Patreon-a-thon. Last week we hit our first goal, which was Garrett suffers with Hollow Knight. What actually happened was I fell madly in love with this. I never thought I would like this game. I am just generally kind of afraid of hard games. You know, like my time is limited. It's even more limited these days because, oh no, I have found myself with a somewhat successful YouTube channel that involves playing video games. So my time's even more limited than it already was. You know, I'm very standoffish to any game that, you know, could you show a worse section of my gameplay?
This is what the beginning of sucking looks like. This is natural. This is natural progression.
Yeah. So yeah, I just, you know, I heard this was hard. And, you know, also I've seen enough adorable art side scrollers, you know, seeing cute art on a side scroller is not enough to sell me on a game anymore. I've seen enough of these. But so yeah, I was just kind of assuming I wouldn't like this. And my cope was its goals to be hard. It's gonna vampire a lot of my time. And it turns out that wasn't cope, but what I didn't bank on was absolutely loving this. This game's awesome. I love it. I really like how it plays. I even like getting knocked back a little when I land a hit, and I know I can turn that off, and I try turning it off, and I don't like not moving back when I hit. I actually think the slight knockback when you land a hit helps you survive because it puts you out of range of some attacks.
Yep.
So, yeah. Dude, breaking news. Hollow Knight's a good game.
Shocker to everyone. Yes. No, it is really good. I got to a point this weekend where I unlocked a door and it gave me a % completed, which was kind of bad for my ego in terms of wrapping it up and getting to Silksong. But that was a nice feature. You know, I'm at 66% completed. Last I looked at that number, I've done a few things since then. I'm at the point in the Souls, like any of these hard games, where I'm all out of exploration. It's nothing but hard bosses now. I can choose which hard boss I want to suffer against. But other than that, it's just plain get good from here on out until I beat the game. And the exploration is really fun. It's fun being mapless. It's fun, you know, desperately trying to find that guy doodling in a corner somewhere and getting that next progression and losing all your gems and being like, well, at least I got a map.
Yeah. I'm really freaking enjoying it, man. I had, by the way, on my own save, I had an even worse attempt on Hornet than what you bore witness to when we played on the couch. But then I also had my cleanest, I think I got hit once, Hornet clear ever.
Just unlocked it, yeah.
Yeah, I figured out, I think I talked to you about this on stream the other day. I figured out that when she does her attack where she throws her needle out and then recalls it to her, that the play is to actually jump and land right in front of her, land a hit. And then if you hit jump immediately after landing the hit, the timing is basically perfect to miss the return attack on her weapon. So once I figured that out, I like started screaming. And Kate's like, what? I'm like, I didn't know I could do that. I have even more uptime, more damage. Yes.
It's all a complete ass until you find those windows where you can actually get hit in.
Yeah.
And sometimes you beat a boss because you found one window and they're 30 seconds apart, but damn it, you're going to
there's plenty of Elden Ring bosses where that was how I beat them.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just how you do shit, man.
One window and I'm going to use it all the way to the end.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. Really freaking enjoying it. And then, of course, you and I have both been playing Expedition 33. This is going to be my game of the year. Unless the ending is absolute dog shit. There's no way this isn't my game of the year.
I don't personally find that a scandalous take. I think it's important to always be worried about a dog shit ending, but I agree. It is very, very good, and all it has to do is just not drop the ball.
I was expecting to like the story. I like prestige television. This game is chock full of prestige television actors doing voice acting. It's It seemed serious. It seemed it's grown up. But dude, it is. I know it's a French studio, but it is a JRPG. It's in every step of the, like, in every sense of the word, and that, like, if as a Western gamer, like, everything I think of when I think of JRPGs, up to and including adorable character moments and really wacky, zany, absurdist sections of comedy. The thing we just went through yesterday, dude, was such a complete change of vibes from the very dire setup of the opening hours of this game.
You have to get people to the other side of the emotion. If you want them to cry, you got to make them laugh. And yesterday was definitely the laughter section. Now I'm primed for whatever they want to do next in it.
Yeah. It's awesome. So my point is, I was expecting to like the story. I was not expecting to fall like head over heels in love with the gameplay.
Yeah, combat's fun.
Yeah. Combat's fun. Loot is fun. Speccing is fun. Outfitting your freaking characters is fun. My one concern right now is that new character we just got seems more complicated than I care to learn.
It's a balanced druid. It's not terribly complicated.
Yeah, I'm not. That's what I thought too, and I'm not a huge balanced druid fan.
My issue is more that we have a rather. I think that's second playthrough fodder, and I did that with a lot of games and a lot of RPGs where I'd love to know what they have to say along the journey. And the system kind of is showcasing that all our characters are going to be with us for the entire thing, so we don't need to worry about bringing them necessarily. But, you know, second playthrough, I might run Rex or whoever. Or what
How dare you?
Who was the Krogan?
Rex's first playthrough material.
I'm trying to think of the Krogan in the second game. What's his name?
Oh, shit. That was, oh, God. ME2 Krogan. Crap. What was his name? I liked him too.
But he was fine, but
Grunt.
Yeah, Grunt. You know, like that second playthrough. You got...
I'm with you there. I didn't run
Tally
Grunt on my first.
And Turian Man. What was Turian Man's name? Oh my God, it's been so long. Can't believe I'm forgetting Turian Batman. Yeah.
Are you forgetting Garrus?
Yes, Garrus. I was forgetting Garrus.
How did you? Okay, I'm going to text Kristen and she's going to punch you.
No, she's not. I said Turian Batman. We all know who we were talking about.
I'm still.
I remembered who he was more than I remembered his name. That I get points for that. Yeah, he was great. But in the second playthrough, like that's when I made time for Legion and Grunt and all these other characters. And I think that's kind of how I would do Expedition 33 here. If they start to like, you know, grow on me, but I just don't think I have room in what my main core lineup looks like right now.
I really like the starter trio. I know there's even more characters that we're gonna run across, but at the moment, I feel like we have met this new character at the exact second that I got really attached to our current trio.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. I think it's second playthrough fodder as well. And by the way, last night I completely caught up to where we ended on yesterday's stream, so I played through it all again a second time.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you got the jump puzzle. Well done.
Yeah, I do not like the jump puzzles in this game, and I am not good at them either. I have heard that the developers made them bad on purpose as a reference to shit jump puzzles from older games.
Okay.
That's fine. That doesn't mean I like it. But I had to get the swimsuits, man.
It was important. Yeah, bonus, right? It was a cute moment. Yeah, it's all about enjoying the cute moments right now before everything goes to shit.
Yeah, that's not true. I started it just to show Katie how bad I was, and then I made it to the second to last platform before falling off, and then I was like, "Well, shit, honey, I got so close. I'm gonna try it one more time." She's like, "Okay, it's fine," because she'll lose interest if I suck for too long. So I was like, "Let me try one more time," and I did it. Freaking did it.
No,
so
we're keeping it all story spoiler free here on the podcast, but do join us. It's a delightful time. Continuing tomorrow, where I will intro with telling you why I'm mourning my greatest theory. It's over. I don't get my theory ain't happening. It's over.
When I saw the cutscene a second time, it's probably eye color. I bet.
Well, not even that. I think
Or a voice actor.
No, not even that. Because I knew about the voice actor ahead of time.
Okay.
That'd be a fine way to get him off your trail. It'd be a complete waste because everyone, then you put up your promotional image of so-and-so played by so-and-so, played by so-and-so, played by the same person, played by the same, you're not like.
Well, I mean, sometimes it could be the same person. You change voice actors specifically to throw people off the trail.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was continuing to push my theory. No, my theory died in a fire for other reasons, but I'll share that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. You're sure it didn't die from a beheading? Because that seems more on brand.
What?
Your theory involves a dude that very famously beheads someone.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. No. I'm in mourning still. I'll share tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. I look forward to Expedition 33 patch notes from Kyle.
Perfect. Oh,
Cool.
Here on air. Do you want me to kit up CL, or do you want a part of that, or?
I at the moment am very uninterested in fielding her. So.
Okay. So I'll put some stuff in case we end up in like a solo encounter story part with her. We end up RE4 and the president's daughter through a dungeon or something like that.
Absolutely go for it. Could you send me the build for the current trio though?
Sure.
You've got some like free aim shit going on Lune that I really want for my solo playthrough.
Yeah, she's good at that kind of thing.
Yeah, I started playing last and I'm like, oh, this feels so ass compared to how Kyle spec'd her. I need to copy Kyle's build because I really like it.
I was in there, man. The way the characters are designed very, very much reminds me of board game adventures.
Totally.
They're very, very point based, more so than even JRPGs. Like just, I think I spent a full hour and a half getting in there yesterday morning and kitting everybody up and getting everything laid out. And then, of course, we ruined it the second because the way the level up the feats work.
Level up feats?
For people who haven't played, the Luminas are basically feats that you unlock by using trinkets long enough. On paper, it sounds like a bunch of busy work, but it actually is a very good system. But it means every time you sit down, you're like, here we go. It's time to optimize, time to get good. And then you head out the door and they hand you a new trinket. And you're like, well, there goes my build temporarily that I put a lot of work into so I can get this.
Assuming you haven't watched anything new, just K-pop Demon Hunters for like the 17th time.
I didn't watch that again this week, though. I did. I did know.
But you still haven't. Tried Alien Earth.
No, I haven't tried Alien Earth, though. I saw an article that Sigourney Weaver thinks it's pretty good, and that's more enticing. I tried to find how to watch Ted Lasso. We almost did that, but it's Apple TV. And otherwise, we've been watching something, The Violinist of Helm, which is like the cheapest anime you've ever seen in your life, but it's fascinating because it's so cheap.
You just subscribed to Netflix, which is like the most expensive thing you could possibly subscribe to. Why is Apple TV a no-go?
Well, because I still have 7 days on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I completely understand that logic. I'm the same way with my subs.
Not that like if I spent it now, it'd actually be but it's a limiting factor.
I would love to do a Ted Lasso watch along podcast with you. It is just a warm and fuzzy bomb, man. It is. Oh, it is a positivity nuclear strike.
Yeah, I'd like to get to it.
Yeah. I finished the new season of Dexter. It's really good. It's like really, really good.
Did they put it all in one chunk, or was it just kind of leaking?
No, it's week to week. Most things are week to week these days. Netflix is like the only one that kind of does like here are all the episodes these days. And even they are just like, what if we cut it in half so that we force you to stay subscribed? Is all of Wednesday out? I don't know if all of Wednesday is out, but that's kind of what I'm waiting for to get a Netflix sub. When all of Wednesday is out, I will get a sub, watch K-pop Demon Hunters, and watch all of Wednesday season 2. But yeah, anyway, if you're out there, you like Dexter, I would recommend the new season. It gets my stamp of approval. I think it's the best season since the original run of Dexter. So probably since season 3 of the original run of Dexter. Those back seasons are a little rough. Those back seasons are a little rough on Dexter. Anyway, let's take a question before we wrap.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
You can send your questions to the Ask the Host channel. That is, of course, part of the Members Lounge, which you get access to if you support us in any way, but it is the month of Patreon-a-thon, so we are going to specifically promote our Patreon over at supportourbromance.com. It just forwards you to patreon.com/Garrett and Kyle. Just, check it out. We are... Kyle, you got that image?
Oh, not on this layer.
It should be on every layer.
Not on this
every
layer
during the month of Patreon-a-thon.
I'm going. Where is it? I'm looking for it.
We are heading towards our 2.6K goal. Right now, we are currently at 2.53K, which will unlock our next goal. But of course, we are trying to get to that $3,000 mark, which means we will do another Florida IRL meetup. So check it out over at supportourbromance.com. And of course, if you support us on Patreon at any level, you get access to that Ask the Host channel in the Members Lounge. Kotar writes in this week and says, not at all related to the YouTube restricted fiasco. That's because it asked the host. Oh my God, we have been talking a lot about the YouTube fiasco. But I read an article the other day talking about 14 potentially having an offline edition release that encapsulates at minimum a Realm Reborn and allows you to transfer your save to an online game if you desire to keep going, citing Dragon Quest X offline as a reference, being another offline edition of an MMO made by Square Enix. How do you think Square would or should adapt the game to fit a single player format for offline play? My kind of mean first thought to this was,
what?
Don't start with Realm Reborn. You should probably start with something a little more compelling. But I don't know how you would do that.
It's chunky. Yeah. I'm so
maybe fully redo a Realm Reborn to where it is a compelling single player experience.
Well, and that's the thing, right? The examples we have right now successfully are gacha games. And so teleporting from person to person to person to person to person through the entire game and divide that up with some light combat with the abilities you have would be the easiest way to summarize it.
Easiest
way to communicate that much information.
Probably not the easiest way from actually developing this experience.
Well, thank you for that one, Garrett. I appreciate that. But we're talking about here what we would like to have done.
A magic wand.
A magic wand situation, yes.
Yeah, because personally, I don't need this. This is not something I would probably buy or be interested in unless it was fully transformative. Something like what Kyle just described.
Yeah, if it summarized the details in a way that would be important for a future chapter, it wouldn't be terribly useful. But, MMOs do have that problem of onboarding, and then, phone is the console of the day.
Yeah, to me, my favorite part of Realm Reborn was the online bits, getting into that, my first trial with other players. To me, that was the best part of a Realm Reborn, and it broke up the rather monotonous, single player aspects of the Realm Reborn MSQ experience.
Well, I think the idea here being offline edition is kind of the big factor here. So that's
why I'm focusing on it. If you literally just sold me Realm Reborn with none of the online features, to me, that's a worse experience. That's not true of everyone. There are a lot of people who don't like the online features, and that's why duty support and trusts and all that kind of stuff exists. But, if you're asking my opinion, that's not me.
Right. The thing that seduced me to the game was how alive the cities felt, always seeing people flying over my head to go collect something, even though they were max level at the time of Shadowbringers. It felt more alive than anything isolated I'd seen with WoW expansions in a long time. So taking that away for the sake of the story, it feels
14 story is good enough to warrant playing it as a single player experience. I don't think just Realm Reborn though is. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. So, but yeah, in the spirit of the question, I'd say if you gussied up the Realm Reborn experience, I think that would be pretty cool. But if the goal is to have it transferable into the MMO experience, there's probably a lot of limitations on what that could look like.
Yeah, there have been weird experiments done in the past too when it comes to lore and story, like the Dragon Age 3 tapestry system was fascinating, was a really cool idea. Essentially, it was an online website you would go to where you could read entries and then make your moral choices in there, and it would add a paragraph of what had happened. and then it would spit out a code so you could put it into Dragon Age 3 without ever playing 1 and 2, but have all the character decisions that have been made up to that point.
Oh, that's kind of like, don't they have an entry interview in Mass Effect 2 that kind of does that?
Yeah, you can skip it with other within game systems, but it was just so much fun to revisit that storyline in a website format.
Oh, Luke's saying still works. It's jank, but it works.
It was really cool. Yeah. If you didn't want to port in or replay what you previously, it was also at times kind of a unveiled curtain and disappointing.
I thought it was a flat circle.
You'd pick, you'd see choices that weren't in there was the really disappointing part. You'd be like, oh, I saved so-and-so's daughter and he said he would pay me back someday. Where's that in the tapestry? No. They're just not continuing that story. Or that wasn't a choice that actually mattered. Saving so-and-so does not have an impact on game 3.
I remember doing it for Mass Effect 2, even though I had played Mass Effect 1. I had some kind of issue with my save. It like wouldn't come over.
That was a pretty common thing, yeah.
I also waited, I think, I was really late to Mass Effect 2. I waited a really long time, so I didn't even really remember my playthrough of Mass Effect 1. I remember I got Ashley killed and I didn't care because Ashley sucks. But I also accidentally got Rex killed, which did bum me out because my very first playthrough of Mass Effect was like as blind could be, so much so that I didn't even like realize the freedom I had in my choices. I just picked it up because it looked cool. And I just lived with my consequences because I didn't really understand the freedom that I had. And so I wasn't super bummed about losing my save heading into 2 because I really wanted Rex to still be around. So, yeah. But I have since done a full playthrough of Mass Effect 3 or 1 through 3 where I've kept like everyone alive that I possibly can. You have to sack someone in the suicide mission, right?
Yes. There must be a choice between Caden and Ashley.
Gotcha. Bye, Ashley.
I saved Ashley originally.
I think in my second, I guess in my first playthrough she wouldn't have been alive, but yeah, I think I kept her around in the second one.
Yeah,
she improved slightly as a person.
Like all that is just organic. Like the idea. Let's say I was watching a streamer. This is where I would be. Like my peak back seat would be I'm watching a streamer play Mass Effect 2. They go into the relay. Immediately someone dies and they're like, whoa, what I do, chat? What should I do? No, you see that through. I want to see hell on Earth because that's how it should be done for your first playthrough. Then rewind time, fix up your shit, go upgrade your ship's shielding and whatnot, do it again, and everyone can live. That's fine. But if you press go on the relay.
Is it okay if I still had like a 30-minute conversation with every single person before I went to the relay?
To reload?
I called everybody before my first ending of Mass Effect 3.
Yeah,
I called everybody on the phone. Everybody.
Yeah. But I just want to see hell. Like, I want to see the organic experience of what that game is capable of punishing you with. Because ultimately, the reward, to get the reward of the perfect playthrough in Mass Effect 3 isn't terribly compelling. But you want to do it when you found out that you fricked up it really bad.
Yeah, no, I think Mass Effect 2 has a much more compelling kind of post-suicide mission variance based on who lives, who dies, that kind of thing, compared to the ending of Mass Effect 3. But we're not saying anything groundbreaking here. Mass Effect 3's ending has been kind of bemoaned by the fan base for its existence. I don't mind it that much in the grand scheme of things.
But it bakes into that 2013 to 17 your favorite intellectual properties can suck gauntlet that we all went through.
To me, it's more that I just think Mass Effect 2 is better, but I still quite enjoy Mass Effect 3. I think there's a lot to enjoy there. Overall, I just keep going with Mass Effect 3. I always just come back to there was maybe a little bit too much urgency for me to enjoy soaking in the Mass Effect-ness of Mass Effect, because I want to go do the side stories. I want to go do the companion quests. But because from like the first minute of Mass Effect 3, it's like, Earth is under attack. We're all going to die. It just felt wrong from an RP perspective to soak it all in. And
the ticking clock being applied so early on. That's why Mass Effect 2 is so strong, is because you are off the grid. You're, with
Mass Effect 2
Spectre.
is like it is the best Star Wars Millennium Falcon Rogues Gallery space experience ever created. Like, it's so good. It's so freaking good. And if you've ever wanted that fantasy, no one does it better than Mass Effect 2.
Imagine too, like you get the tapestry system for A Realm Reborn, and it's like, did you grind for 30 days in order to seduce the snake people? I'd be like, yeah, sure. Check mark. Yeah, I did it. Fine. Check mark.
So you're saying do a single player version of Heaven's Ward with
the tapestry system
with an entry,
and if I want to, like it's kind of, it feels kind of sacrilege, because you're like, oh, what about like La Habrea moments and stuff like that you'd miss? Roll the cutscene maybe when I check the box. I don't know.
I've learned recently that there's a lot of people who don't like Heaven's Ward, and that surprises me. But
Heaven's Ward was a perfect back foot chapter.
I really like Heaven's Ward.
I think it was one of the strongest the crew has ever been.
I like the Stormblood crew a lot, and I'm kind of mad that they didn't become the MSQ crew again. Like hanging out with Hien and crew, like that was my jam. In retrospect, like I might put Stormblood above Heaven's Ward, and I really enjoyed Heaven's Ward. But that's good. It just means it's a lot of good shit like that I really enjoy. Oh no, it's a hard ranking to make because I enjoy them both so much. Like, so yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I'm with you there, Baka Shinobi. I don't really like the backtracking on that character death either. But it is what it be.
It solved its purpose.
And our purpose is to bring this to a close by thanking those of you supporting us over at patreon.com/Garrett and Kyle, better known as supportourbromance.com. We have a lot of you that have signed up since last week's podcast. And as you know, we thank everybody who's signed up on every episode of the podcast. If you're a new sign up, you get thanked. This week's going to be no different. It's just going to be a much longer list. And if you don't hear your name, it probably means that it just hasn't processed yet. It also mean that however you signed up, maybe there's a payment issue. So just double check. But let me know if you don't hear your name and it was an error. But without further ado, thank you to the latest folks joining us on our Patreon, starting with Leandri.
Oh, I'm so nervous. Pariah? Okay, damn it. First one.
Marvin J.
I know this one. Kyle J.
I kind of was hoping you would mess that one up. Junk A. Thank you so much.
Dylan.
Kevin B. Kevin B.
Kezu.
I like it. Tensor Tenor. Thank you for signing up.
Rusa Raccoon.
David L. If we think it's a real name, we're just going to do final initial. Some folks don't realize that I think when you sign up with a Google account, it autofills your real name. You can change your name to whatever you want.
Oh, yeah, you can go in there. Just like Discord, you can change your screen name.
Just like the next name.
Chainsaw Unicorn. We don't know that. That might be their real name.
Chainsonicorn.
Oh, Chainsonicorn.
Damp with a DH. Damp. Thank you much.
Electric Citizen. I see what you did with the C there. Nice.
Yeah. Wilhelm. I'm a big fan of your screams.
Shrub Sova.
David T.
Petitus.
Winkle abides. Hey, we know you.
Luther S. Thank you.
Major Row. Appreciate it.
Phantom Queen.
There's an M on the end. Athena P. Appreciate you.
The Ginquisitor. I added the but I like it.
Chatson F. Appreciate you.
Ameritha.
Sizo A.
Elizabeth M.
Called.
Seaton F.
Seaton, maybe. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm not 100% sure. Angry Jin.
Heather G.
JT.
And Laura Smith.
And we also want to give a shout out to Pythos, Dewberry Panda, Emma R, Kristen S, Chris L, Soldium, Teal Traveler, Chris M, Garrett J, love your name there, Arizri S, Sir Whiskey Jack, and Waves Watershine. All of you are already supporting us, and you gave us a raise. You all upped your pledges to a higher level, and we just want to also give you a shout out. Thanks for being here this whole time and giving us a little extra love. Speaking of giving us a little extra love, legendary level backers, you get thanked each and every episode. So shout out to Sean B, Cheesy Bob, Lost Mythic, Zervon, Compside Jedi, Pothy P, Bloodsy, Von, Snugglegore, Avane, Shinny Geo, Nicholas C, Jerry T, Sean and Jen, Vernacular Ham, Brahm, Basilius, KLG Chaos, and it's worth mentioning that KLG Chaos also gave us a raise.
Woo!
On top of being at the highest level that we even have listed. So I guess we now have the KLG Chaos tier in addition to the Avane tier, Kyle.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Thank you all very much for the generosity. Again, it is the month of our Patreon-a-thon. Join us, help us unlock bonus content, and just generally keep the lights on around here. Check out supportourbromance.com. Head on over there. And other than that, doghousesystems.com. We use their PCs. If you're in the market for a new gaming PC, check them out. Doghousesystems.com. If you use the code BROMANCE, you'll get a 1 terabyte NVMe drive for your trouble. Check them out. Doghousesystems.com. Code BROMANCE. I'm Garrett Art. Everywhere on social. Kyle is Kyle Ferguson. Everywhere on social. Go give us a follow. You can see a little video from me when I cleared the jump puzzle. You check out my socials. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Grinding Gear Podcast. Until next time, GG.
Take care.
And for the live stream, what's up?
Hello, live stream. We will be reading your messages very shortly. I will be right back.
Wonderful. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for the supers. In the meantime, Kyle's gone. I will answer one Garrett question. Do an Grinding Gear mention. You can ask me about anything as I back up this episode. Ask me. I will answer one question. One question only. All right, backing up the episode. Backing up the episode. Where is my desktop? There it is. There we go. Running it through the filters. All right, let's see. We got a few questions here. I'm going to go with the most anticipated part of your Japan trip. Originally, I thought it was getting to drive my dream car, which is going to happen. I have booked a 1997 twin turbo Toyota Supra with a 6-speed manual, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to have to learn how to shift with my left hand because it is a Japanese Supra that I booked to drive around Mount Hakone, which I'm really, really excited for. But I gotta say, I'm more excited to relax up in the Hakone Mountains because Katie and I booked a ryokan, a traditional Japanese inn. And so we're going to be celebrating like our actual freaking anniversary while enjoying Japanese luxury. And I cannot wait. I'm just really excited to just like be forced to relax and not worry about meals because they serve you breakfast and dinner while you're there. We have a little hot spring on our back balcony in addition to the public hot springs out on the property. I just can't wait. It's going to be so
very
relaxing.
nice.
I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. It overlooks a freaking like Lake Valley surrounded by mountains, dude. I'm so excited.
That sounds so cozy, man.
I'm so freaking excited. So, yeah. Private onsen, public onsen. Let's do this. We're still trying to figure out if we're going to work up the courage to do a public onsen.
Oh, is that where you just like you walk in and
you got to be nude.
And okay.
We would be alone because they're gender separated.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, except for the antics, right? There's always antics.
What do you mean antics?
Well, it's like Disney World, right? Like someone is employed who comes out and gets into some sort of antic, right? Like falls over, gets a bloody nose. Someone tries to scale the wall and falls down. But their employee, it's part of the theming.
I don't get the joke.
It's an anime joke. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Really, sir. the added wrinkle of they're an employee. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, yeah, because you wouldn't want actual like peeping toms, but you have to make the theming. You know, it's all part of the show. You know, like doing a character breakfast at Disney World.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Every day I marvel at the way your brain works. Every day. Tia Marillion, thanks for the 23 months earlier. Said it's so fun to watch your E33 playthrough. I've missed the cooking since you caught up on the 14 MSQ. Glad you're having fun with it. Yeah, I haven't been cooking as much because I'm just like we're gonna be doing this shit 2 times a week. I'm just like I just want to see what's next. I'm getting when Kenny and I got to the second vision last night, we were just like, man, what's going on with this? Like Katie perked up, and then I was like, what do you think? And she's like, I have no idea. What's her response? She's like, I am so confused as to where they're going with this, and I'm like, I am too. And why is the second vision in 4x3?
Was the first one
wasn't?
Oh,
the first one wasn't. No, it went into cinematic aspect ratio. It had letterboxing on the top and bottom.
Well, it does.
The second vision squeezes in like you're watching it on an old CRT.
Well, it differentiates itself between a vision and a dream, but that is,
I guess, yeah, nightmare versus like event, like that character to keep it spoiler free. I guess, yeah, it was. She didn't go to sleep. You're right. It was just a vision and view of God and everyone,
mm-hmm.
and view of the paintress and everyone. Spam Wing Duck, thanks for 31 months. What is your opinion on Josh Strife Hayes, dear bros? Seems like a cool guy. I haven't watched a lot of his content.
Hold up.
What?
Oh, I'm just doing a Google real fast.
Why? You're the one who informs me about Josh Strife Hayes.
Yeah, I really like Josh Stray's content, but I'm just concerned that this is like a sus question, like something happened this morning, and I'm gonna be, I'm somehow.
What? Spam Wing Duck isn't trying to gotcha us.
Listen, this is my own. We love saying brain rot these days. This is my own personal social brain rot. Why are we bringing him up? What happened?
We were talking about YouTube restriction, and he's one of the leading threads right now on informing people about what's going on with YouTube restriction.
Has he made his new video yet? I know he put one up and then he took it down. Because he said it was, people were saying it was misinformation. So he said he was going to do more research, and I've been excited about that video.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see his video.
I really
thanks to this super earlier. I don't know what you're talking about, Daycoth. Haven't you heard? Comedy's legal again. That's what I'm told. That's what
the internet said anyway.
Yeah, the internet said comedy's legal again. So I have no idea what you're talking about. But sorry, Kyle. Back to you.
Oh, I really like Josh Strife Hayes. I watched quite a few of his clips. I enjoyed his recent one where he just talked about why he didn't like streaming culture. Sometimes I just sit there and second monitor him as he is requested. I enjoy his stuff.
He's mostly a Twitter follow for me. I really enjoy his takes. I think he seems like he has a good head on his shoulders. But I haven't really consumed much of his content. I don't watch a lot of video games. No. Yeah. Neko, thanks for the super. Pouring one out for our man Garrett. I still hear his voice sometimes. It's okay to move on, Kyle. The hurricane wasn't your fault.
No, with the Garrett's powered by AI. We can do this. We can still make it happen.
Oh, Kyle, you abandoned me to go to Jacksonville.
I have 10 years of audio of this man. I can upload it. I can make him better.
I do not consent.
I don't know why I program him to disagree with me so much, though. You'd think I would.
I did not consent to this.
That's just the power of AI.
I will haunt you and your family for eons. The ghost of Garrett reads Jeremy Carl's 34-month message. I sit here behind on the live stream due to work getting called out whilst wearing cargo pants and a fishing shirt. I'm so sorry, Jeremy.
Hitting all the offenses.
I'm so sorry, my dude. I'm so freaking sorry. Maybe you should reprogram Garrett with some gamer skills.
Brutal. And untrue.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Oh, well,
I sucked ass on Expedition 33 yesterday.
I thought, well, you got the parry the Bigfoot guy. He was off. He was
He was an ass.
Yeah, that guy was trouble.
I successfully parried him last night in my solo playthrough, but even then, I think it was the last parry of the fight I finally got. Timing on that one really messes with me. By the way, if you actually want me to interact with you, I do not need messages saying I'm doing things too early or too late. I don't need to know that. I will figure it out. The enemies are constantly changing.
Yeah, they're always like, just like Hollow Knight. You meet each one.
I would like to respectfully ask that you just keep that to yourself.
I think that's a fine ask. I think you just naturally get to know them, and it's easy to. That's the thing that really blew my mind about watching you play Hollow Knight, is because you fight that first boss and you are walking. You have no abilities whatsoever, no spell, no way to accelerate it, really. And it was really refreshing. Like, I felt no need to backseat because it was more like I remember playing just like this. But if I watch someone play,
you literally just did it.
Yeah, but also like you don't. When you see someone playing like Bronze League MOBA, you're like, oh, how can they suck so bad? Like it's so simple. You could be winning because all the tools are at your disposal. And I think that does happen with Expedition 33 when you see it. There's also a great need to be like, wait, I want to try it. Like the whole time you were talking, we were in the first arena fight, and you're like, oh, this guy's attacks are ass. I just want to be like, give me the control. I want to see if it's ass. I have no way to agree with you or not until I've known the ass dumb that you're dealing with.
And that's what's fun about us duoing Expedition 33. I did notice while playing alone last night, I am personally struggling because I just don't get to keep trying to dodge or parry. Like turn after turn, attack after attack. I pick it up so much faster when I'm playing at home. I'm sure some of that is just the relaxation of knowing I'm not being watched, except by Katie, who I'm used to her laughing when I suck. So, and when Katie roasts me, she's actually funny. So
it's something I discovered in the FF2 playthrough we did. You're losing half of a game of experience doing the co-op like we're doing. And I think that's why the offline play, even if it is just me speccing us offline like I did for FF3 or here in Expedition 33 and getting that under my system, you practicing in the evening, helps us recover from that loss of experience we're gaining doing this.
Yeah. And I want to be clear, chat. If you want to roast me, go for it. Like that's fun. I'm fine being roasted. It's when I get like the very serious of like, you were consistently dodging too early. I'm like, go away. This is the most obnoxious thing I could read right now. No, I'm fine with roasting. If you're going to tell me I'm doing it wrong, my request is please be funny.
Yeah. I think we all admit a huge amount of suck in our own personal heads.
Yeah.
Because why would you remember that? That's not worth remembering. Sucking sucks. You're going to forget about it. You're going to remember when you finally won.
Yeah. That's why it was it was so funny to watch the goalposts get moved stream after stream when we were doing Savage, because it was just like, they've run out of judgment because they haven't completed this. So now they're moving the goalpost to you shouldn't have made a team, or they're moving the goalpost to that one person on your team is too good. And it was just funny to watch the complaints get more and more specific.
Yeah, and then in the end, the parsing thing. That was an interesting experience. That was a very interesting experience.
That's a really polite way to put it. I would not say interesting.
I've never completed something that difficult and felt more like an outsider at the end of it.
It's because most people don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not a massive part of the player base. So we are quite realistically alienating a massive part of the community, because majority of the Final Fantasy XIV playing public have not cleared multiple Savage Wings.
Yeah, and then you compare that to something like Silksong, people begging the devs and saying that they're awful people and wrong because the game is too hard. Like, I don't get in a car crash and then want a sign put up. That's not how my brain works. Though the one car crash I did get in, I got a sign put there. I didn't ask for it, but they did add one.
I'm not sure how that connects.
My own mistakes, I don't inflict upon the world around me. I don't think that turn was wrong. I effed up, and I need to become a better driver. However, in that one instance, I did get a sign that says, no left turns here.
Yeah.
So,
I see it as twofold, man. Like, because we do absolutely come from a place of privilege that we have a community that's large enough that we can put a team together. I would temper that somewhat with that privilege was built over many, many years of making Final Fantasy XIV content. It wasn't always easy, but we're not in the same position as everyone else.
No, and managing a community enough that people could communicate and become friends and make a guild. And that was all experience from failing in previous other games, letting people communicate properly and giving them the space to hang out in something we've hosted. Yeah, that gets into the whole that's just the weird thing about YouTube and doing what we do. We are not just dancing monkeys. We're programmers. We're SEO optimizers. We're editors. We're promotionalists.
It's everything. Yeah. The thing that everyone gets to see is only the tip of the iceberg of what makes it all happen. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, last month there was that viral tweet that was going around that was like, is streaming harder than a more traditional job?
Oh, what a terribly easy thing to have an opinion about and no clear answer.
Right, exactly. And it's just like it's just kind of a bad faith springboard to begin with. But like, yeah, it's absolutely difficult. But also, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to an office. I don't want to go back working for a boss that I hate. The boss that I hate now is myself, and it's so much easier to hate myself and make adjustments than it is hate my boss who's never going to become a better person.
Yeah, I loved my job. I love my job, and I worked really, really hard for it. But I think what I've learned over the last few years is that also means it's that much harder to take a break. And when we do have to do, and I say have to do on purpose, when we have to do like summer break or winter break, it's hard, but it's extremely important.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Iprix, thanks for the super earlier. Ecological Succession is the Gatherer, Allied Society, Questline of Endwalker. WoW copying 14's homework again. Wait, what? Is this a joke about the biodomes?
Ecological is the Gatherer, Allied Quest. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay.
We had those in Burning Crusade, which predates Final Fantasy 14.
I mean, I enjoy a good giggle, but also Blizzard has always reached into other games and stolen what was working over there, and I think they're extremely good at it.
Some of my favorite stuff in 14 is clearly references from other media, like the mecha undertones of the Wurlik experience.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to have a bigger giggle at lore things, like when we walked into War Within, and they're like, and here's where we store our memories and crystals. I was like, come on. Did you have to? But mechanics are mechanics. Like, God, mechanics are hard. And that is always going to be a faster horse situation. Like, what do I want? I don't know, a deck builder, roguelike adventure? Oh, go buy one. No, I want a good one. Well, what makes it good?
That's just what I struggle with. Like, I'm really struggling. My big struggle, like, I don't know. I have different flavors of struggles, like, throughout the year with being a content creator. My big struggle right now is like instant clap back when I don't like something. I'm just like, why can't I just not like something? Why does everything have to? Why is when like one thing not work for me? Why is that like not good enough? Like we had that moment in Expedition 33 yesterday. I've been thinking about it a lot. Just like, why? First off, why is it getting under my skin? Why do I even care that people care? But more so like from a just conversing with people in a public forum standpoint, it's like, I think some of it's trauma from 14 because it really did feel like playing through the main MSQ of FF14 that if everything wasn't treated like it was the best thing ever, that it was a problem.
Happening with Silksong right now.
I just found that really tiring, and a bit boring. Because everything can't be good. Things that are good by comparison to things that are not good, and it could be within the same product that you're making that comparison. So yeah, I don't know. That's my struggle right now. I'm just like the journal thing. I'm like, why do people care about the journal thing?
Because it gets good, right?
It's literally one. There's only every time you do the journal, there's only one line that is actually unique. Everything else is a repeat of sentences and music, and that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
And my comment was meant with very low impact. It's just like, oh, of all the things that we're doing in this game, this is the one where I'm like, I would start skipping this. I'm fairly certain it's pre-knowledge. They already know where it leads, and that there's something worthwhile at the end of it, either a story revelation, loot, or both. But yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one. Because there were like so many boos in chat, literally people typing boo, that I was like, whoa, why is the journal the precious line of defense? I was just very confused.
Yeah, and you can only assume that it gets good, which is also a spoiler in and of itself.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, like is it not clear that I'm like loving this game? Do I not love it enough for you? That's where my brain goes, and I don't think that's actually true, and probably not everyone actually agrees. But when you get an en masse reaction, it feels like everyone is in the same boat. And that boat happened to be diametrically opposed to me yesterday. So it's been an interesting thing to think about, particularly at a time where it seems completely socially acceptable to point out the failings of something like Final Fantasy XIV, which was the previous "you dare not speak a negative word about it" experience for me. But now we're suddenly allowed to totally critique it and call out its shortcomings. And then I go to Expedition 33. So it's a hard like left turn for me, because I'm like, in the other things that I do, it's like, oh, it's fine to say this didn't necessarily land for me, and for the most part, people aren't too bummed about it. But then over in Expedition 33 land, it's like, love it or die.
Yeah, I can only make assumptions at this stage, but I do find I do find the quest for that answer fascinating. And I wonder if it's just that people want more of it, you know? Like, I think if we praise it outright.
I can understand people just wanting more positivity, because, like, let's be honest right here. Like, you know, it's so easy if you are online right now for the world to be a negative place. So I can completely if it is just that simple and that innocent, hell yeah, I'm with you. I totally get that vibe. And my world has been a primarily positive place. So I think that is part of where my surprise comes from. It's like, I am just having such a good goddamn time right now, dude. Everything we're playing is fun. Everything we're playing is hitting. Everything we're playing, people are showing up for. Is it Shadowbringers views? No, but I don't expect most things to be. Like, you compare this, like I don't know, like, because I have a lot of comments in my head right now. It's like, usually if I am confused and I have pushback against anything, the MSQ Andes come out and go, that's because you're not succeeding the way you were with the MSQ. And it's like, yeah, but if you were only here for that, you definitely don't know about our experience before this. And it's like, what you and I have built here, actually betting on ourselves and really doubling down on working together, has grown so much beyond what we were doing before starting 14 or even getting to the end of Endwalker, which is, you know, what some naysayers cite. And it's just like, no, you don't understand. Like, we're killing it compared to where we were before any of this.
There was one that was just so crazy to me on the Manderville stream. Someone commented, "Wow, finally so desperate you decided to do these quests."
Oh,
and that was loaded. That was a loaded assumption.
That's really bad faith. They're desperate enough that they haven't been here until we played Manderville.
Yeah, to assume that was like like the pure fun of wanting to do those quests and enjoy them was somehow like a desperate effort to recapture a glory day was kind of disturbing. And I don't mean to put that energy on them, but it made me go, gross.
I think you're extremely valid to put that energy.
Yeah,
on.
but I try not to insult people when I'm making assumptions based on them. And like,
if you're gonna come into my house with that kind of energy, you're getting insulted.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I'm sorry. Like that is some like truly toxic nonsense.
But it made me double take. It made me go to view the world in that light was crazy to me.
I'm glad I missed that. I would have went off on that person. that is a poster child for like the worst of the Final Fantasy 14 community, in my opinion. There's a lot of good in it. I want to be very clear, but clearly not everybody who plays that game is a wonderful person to be around. So, yeah, no, that's square dead center of a bullseye of all right. I didn't wake up this morning to be a jackass, but you just activated it, and I would have went after that person. So, yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy you didn't. I'm happy you didn't engage it. It was a fascinating thought experiment to see that particular thought.
Yeah, they're wrong, but I'm not going to dignify it with an explanation to why they're wrong. So, anyways, Joe, that's really generous. Thank you. Said, hey, Garrett, I recall you being curious as to what Yoshi-P was wearing recently instead of the usual Daytona. Oh, shit. We gotta watch nerd. It's one of the Frank Muller 16 collab pieces, specifically the Phoenix variant, a bit ugly as usual for Frank Muller. Yeah, I do find Frank Muller watches the antithesis of taste. They are so over-engineered. However, the 14 collaboration did make me think Frank Muller was cooler, because there is something broken in my brain that loves the opulence of a multi-$1,000 video game watch.
Talking about this guy?
Frank Muller watches. Yeah, that guy. Frank Muller watches are really expensive. And yeah, they did a 16 collab. So yeah, and it's not just price. There are so many horribly, disgustingly expensive watches that I would love to own. I don't poo-poo watches just because I can't afford them. The Frank Muller's design, they're too much. It's just too much. It's not my jam.
What is going on in there?
I like expensive watches, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, those numbers are.
It's kind of like, I appreciate a Ferrari, but even if I could afford one, I probably never would get one because I just think they're too showy. Like, I like nice things, but I like them to be a bit more understated, which is like why I like Porsche. Porsche hasn't changed their when it comes to cars. They haven't changed the design language that much from when they were more affordable. And even by today's standards, at that price point, a Porsche at its price is significantly more understated than a lot of its contemporaries. So like, yeah, if I could just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go get $120,000 car, I'd probably get a Porsche and not like I don't know, what's a good comparison? Maybe I will get a Bentley. I do like Bentleys. Anyway, completely different car, but yeah. Anyway, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't cross my mind because I do remember many live letters ago, Kyle, that you and I pulled up that watch collab, and we were like, "Oh my god, these are horrendously expensive."
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, but it's funny. That's funny. Team Aurelian right now. Thank you for the German. So Hildy is the opposite to the MSQ in my opinion. I like Hildy best in the short chunks it releases in, separated by time. But after catching up to MSQ and Endwalker, I decided I like MSQ best in larger chunks rather than piecemeal. I think that makes total sense. The Hildebrand is just so wacky that I think that being like the only thing you're exposed to in over a long period of time, it would probably kind of like lose its charm, or you might become a bit callous to the humor and the zaniness of it, that it won't be as effective. Where if you do experience it with breaks, you know, I would assume it's a better experience, and I think it would land for me as a better experience, which is why I'm totally fine not completely just decimate speed, burning through it all as fast as we can.
Yeah, well, and you don't want to anything. You don't want to get to that level of pattern recognition that you're frustrated with it.
Yeah. Oh man, Common Kyle W right there. What a freaking what a statement.
It sucks. Our human brains suck sometimes. Wait, it's all the same. Always has been.
It's all the same. Always has been. Oh no, I don't like it anymore. Yeah, we call that the Star Wars effect. Shaniata, thanks for the super earlier. I know I'm late to the topic, but Kyle, stick with 14 on the Steam Deck. There's some great online tutorials to get it working. It's very worth it. I play it more than I do on my computer.
I got intimidated, but you're giving me energy to look at it again. I do have Path of Exile 2 on my plate right now. I want to be able to talk about that next week. So I got to get some time into that here. So that's probably going to take that slot, but I do need to level my... I know we're still a ways off from 8.0, but I want a DPS, and I need to get that leveled, so having that be a more convenient thing I can do.
Rip a solo channel that has no schedule.
And just
I think that'll motivate you to level the DPS.
Just start leveling, yeah. It's not a bad idea.
I've been kind of thinking about doing it for like Hollow Knight and when I play WoW Hardcore. It's like, hey, welcome to Garrett's second channel. There is no consistency here. Don't expect it.
Yeah.
But you know, when I'm going hard at something that you know, may upset the regular schedule of grinding gear, I'm gonna put it over here. So I've been thinking about it. It's also, dude, I want to get back to Pokemon Silver so freaking bad. So freaking bad. Even though I know like it is, you know, it's RPG, it would probably blend pretty well with what we're doing here, but I don't think I could promise or make good on any sort of regularity or schedule. And that's more my bigger concern.
Yeah.
Is I like paying off here on grinding gear I like paying off expectation. I like making good on if you care enough to read our Friday Patreon posts and you get invested in that schedule, I want to make good on that. So I don't want to be too random. Rogue Mage, thanks for the super earlier. Desperately want to hear about Kyle's experience beating Hollow Knight in the post stream or in a video to avoid spoiling Garrett. Wait, did I miss it? Did you beat it?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
And I'm at 66%. I think I'm probably more now, but 66% was what it showed me when I walked towards the finale there and I turned around.
Okay, so 66%. Are there optional bosses?
Yes.
So that percentage is irrelevant to your actual completion of the game?
I don't know if it goes above 100% because there's several DLCs. There's entire areas they added after the fact that are very cute and very fun, but also definitely have a little bit of a difficulty spike with them. And you go, this was not designed in the core time period, was it? There's just a little extra sparkle on it. It's that I know I'm already successful kind of sparkle. This is complete bullshit, and I know it.
As I was falling asleep last night, I put on an edit of Ludwig beating Elden Ring for the first time. I'd never seen a lot of those later bosses because I've never gotten that far into Elden Ring. It was such a joy on the what I guess is the final boss that has like two very unique phases, to watch him get the first boss that you fight in that 2-boss marathon, like just down pat, just absolutely owning his ass. Like the first time he made it to the final boss, he had like 1 potion, and then when he actually cleared him, he has all his potions heading into it. And I'm like, do I actually like hard games and I just cope because I'm worried about the time commitment? Is that all it is? Because dude, I'm so high. Like I would lump Expedition 33 into this because it is significantly more skill based than I thought it would be. Hollow Knight is doing it for me. And I've been enjoying our random off-stream Night Rain experiences so much that I'm like, I should really just go and get through Elden Ring by myself because I think I would really love it.
Yeah,
like I'm having a bit of a. I think I've been coping so much so that I've even thinking about pitching this to you as a video idea. I kind of want to sit down and talk to you about just my aversion to hard games and my realization that I think I do actually quite like it, and that includes the savage rating that as well.
Yeah, I by chance on random GameStop employee recommendation picked up Demon Souls, and I shared that with Kristen, and she ran away with it, and that's why it stayed in my life in 2009, 10.
That was Cars. Like I was always kind of in the Cars, and mentioned it to Katie. We started watching Top Gear, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I've always really liked cars. Like all the way back to like her first car was a Dodge Neon, and she always pined after the sport model, which was the SRT4. She still wants one to this day.
When it comes to true joy, for me, it's XCOM kind of things. I need game A and game B. I need something to relax with. I want to play a game when I'm not doing hard shit. And ultimately, Hollow Knight is having this problem, and every Dark Souls ever. You get to a point where you've explored everything, and you've got like 5 bosses, which are all ass. And everything left for you to do to feel like you've completed it is get really, really good at 5 completely different styles of fighting. And
sweat.
It's such a big ass. Whereas like, you know, like XCOM or hopefully Expedition 33, if the Luminas keep flowing and stuff, there's this exchange of like, I am not fighting tonight, but I do get to be crunchy. I do get to go in here and mess with my stuff.
Yeah, man. Well, sick. Well, I need to go figure out lunch because Katie has a very strict opening for food today.
I need to press this video live. We're putting a video live.
Chat, you've been absolutely wonderful. Again, it's our Patreon-a-thon. Check out supportourbromance.com. Consider signing up if you're not currently supporting. You know, it is our, we appreciate all the support. If it comes down to it and you're like, where would you prefer? It'd be Patreon, but don't worry about that too much. Don't cancel your YouTube membership and go to Patreon if you like your YouTube membership, if you like your emojis, if you like the GG badges, keep it. Don't worry about it. But it is our Patreon-a-thon, and we want to remind you, you got supportourbromance.com. Go check it out. And go check out our new video. Enjoy.
Putting it live right now. Bye, everybody.